Hello, my name is Kim and welcome to a timeless reading where I will be offering you an energy check-in on the area of life of career, work, creative, and business endeavors before giving you a sneak peek into what is next in this area of your life. Now, before we proceed, let me remind you that this is a timeless reading, meaning at whatever moment in time you tune into one of the group's readings, the messages can and will still apply to you. That is, of course, if they do end up resonating with you. But with that being said, I will now give you a closer look at the options. Group 1 is the polar bear. Group 2 is the buffalo. Group 3 is the sea turtle. Group 4 is the salamander. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever illustration or animal you end up being drawn to the most, then that will be the group that will have the reading meant for you. Once you have selected, please head on over to either the pinned comment in the comments section down below or the description box, where you will find the timestamps that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group. Okay, and if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to the polar bear, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, the message wasting away came to mind, as well as the word deliver. I wonder if some of you are feeling as if your talents are wasting away while waiting for something to take off, while waiting for someone to acknowledge your talents and or your skills. Or if there has been an idea in your mind that you have yet to start developing or working on. If so, then you're being let known it's time. It's time to bring this idea to life. It's time to consider it, really consider it, and start working on it, because it just sitting in your mind, it's not doing you or this idea or anybody else any favors, because it's a good idea. It needs to be considered. It needs to be developed. If not, it would be such a waste. Also, the way the polar bear was illustrated, it makes it seem as if it's been frozen in place. So I wonder if at times you feel like you can't move forward, not because anything external from you is preventing you from moving forward, but more so because of maybe fears or doubts, self-doubts, overthinking, insecurities perhaps, that trigger this freeze response and makes it hard for you to take another step forward, for you to continue on, or maybe even start pursuing a career or developing a project or finishing a project or working on an idea. If that is the case, then these mental blockages are what you will soon overcome, or you need to overcome, in order to allow yourself to move forward. Okay, but I'm going to set this card aside, and the message on the back of it I will reveal to you near the end of your reading. First, I will draw out a tarot card, which will help with the energy check-in. Once I have done that, I will set this deck aside and begin drawing out cards from other decks to take a look at what is currently unfolding in this area of life. And once I have done that, I will get back to this first tarot deck that I worked with to look at the card at the bottom of it, because that card will give us info about what is next in this area of life. It will give us a closer look as to what is next. Okay? Okay, so these are two cards. I will take them. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. What a lovely combination. Aces speak of new beginnings, and the Seven of Pentacles often indicates hard work paying off. But it is a card that speaks of patience as well. Now I will set this deck over here. So what I'm seeing is you are currently working on making progress in this area of life. With the Ace of Pentacles, this feels more like a promise of what is to come, what may come next, which is you beginning a new project, you investing time, energy, and possibly resources on a new endeavor. But these two cards are meant to represent the current energy. So this could be exactly what is happening currently in this area of life. You investing and working on a new endeavor. If you have recently applied to a new job, it seems like you have received an offer. You may be currently on a probation period. You may be training for the role that you will be taking on in this new job. There's this feeling of you settling in somewhere new and getting the hang of things in this new workplace or new work environment. Also, I see this being a situation where you're getting acquainted with someone who has recently been hired at your workplace. So for those of you who are employers, you might have recently hired one or more new people and you're kind of getting familiarized with them. But for others of you, this could be a co-worker situation, right? You have a new co-worker, you have a new colleague, and you're getting adjusted to working with them, working alongside them, or just working together. But the Seven of Pentacles does speak of proficiency and efficiency. At least that's how I'm interpreting it in this spread. So if it's the case that someone recently got hired, or you recently hired someone, this new employee, this new colleague is hardworking and they're proving to be quite efficient and even proficient at their job or with their skills or in a role. So I'm seeing advancements. You're making advancements with the help of this new colleague or new employee. But if it's you who's the new employee, then know that your hard work, your dedication, your efficiency and proficiency is being noticed and it is being appreciated. I see you making and being a positive difference in this new workplace. Now, something else I'm seeing is order. So something you may be working on right now is creating order in this area of life. You making sure that everything is in order. I keep thinking of an inventory. So some of you could be doing some kind of inventory check and getting updated on what needs to be restocked, what needs to be put on the shelf, maybe discontinued, etc. And seeing that the Ace of Pentacles can indicate an investment, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles paired up with it, this is a time in which you may be thinking about making investments, or you have, and you're in a way taking care of or looking over or after these investments. I don't know much about the stock market, but this made me think of stocks. So some of you might have invested in some stocks and you're kind of looking over it and seeing that everything is well, that nothing has dropped, and that you're still making money or that your money is still safe. And so far, based on these cards, it seems like all is well. You're still making money and or you're profiting from your investments. Also, if you have multiple businesses, this is a time in which you are overseeing all of your businesses and checking that everything is in order and so forth. And it seems like so far your businesses are still up and running and giving you some profit. But if you are not a business owner, if you are employed, then I see you being given the role of maybe a supervisor or a manager, or you overseeing a department, right? You having a major responsibility or you being given a main role. And you doing quite well in this. You either meeting expectations or you exceeding them, because I do see you taking your job pretty seriously. These two cards make me think of someone who is being responsible and who is taking accountability for their responsibilities and their roles. So you are proving to be someone who is very reliable, dependable, and someone who is quite attuned or in tune with their work, with their career, someone who knows what they're doing and knows what is happening in this area of life. They are up to date, or they are becoming up to date. But let me pull out the rest of the cards. So we have midheaven, beautiful, with publicity often associated with career and life purpose, our public persona, and achievements. So more earth energy, because the midheaven is the 10th house, which is the house associated with the zodiac sign Capricorn, which is an earth sign, and pentacles are associated with the element earth. So very grounded. Earth also indicates stability and security. So when it comes to this area of life, it seems like you are on the right track. So far, things are faring pretty well for you. As mentioned before, you are receiving recognition in this area of life, or your hard work efforts, your dedication, or the fact that you are a hardworking individual is being acknowledged by your peers, by your colleagues, supervisors, managers, employers, possibly even customers, clients, or potential collaborators. So we have the extra joker, which is my fast pass card. At least that's how I interpret it. And this card can indicate forward movement, quick, fast progress, and momentum. So things are picking up for you in this area of life. And or you seem to be advancing pretty quickly in this area of life. So with the Ace of Pentacles, it is very, very likely that you are being considered for a higher position at your current workplace or job. If you are aiming for a promotion or possibly even an increase in your salary, it's a very, very likely that you will get it, right? It seems like you have come into alignment with a job that will reward you for your hard work. So if in the past you were working somewhere that didn't acknowledge you or just didn't acknowledge the hard work and effort of their employees, and that was one of the main reasons that you left that job, or you were pushed out of that job, maybe by the divine or your higher self as a form of divine intervention to align you with something better, then you have aligned with a job that will reward you for your efforts. And for those of you who are self-employed, for those of you who are contractors, I do see you working on a project, working on a commission that will pay you quite well. And you're possibly working with a customer or a client that can be quite generous when it comes to tips or with their feedback. They recognize a job well done and they reward it. And so seeing that you are someone who is hardworking and dedicated to their work and prioritizes a job well done, you will definitely be rewarded by this client, customer, or patron with either a very generous tip or through them leaving you a very, very positive review or them recommending you to others. Possibly with them having another project or commission lined up for you. Right? But if you are someone who has many patrons, if you are someone who works with several customers or clients at once, it seems like currently all of your customers, all of your patrons are pretty satisfied with what you are offering. They're pretty satisfied and content with your services or with your products if you offer products. And it could even be the case that recently you have been receiving quite a few tips. If not, then I see this happening fairly soon for you. Tips and positive reviews or feedback. And we have home. So some of you may currently be saving up money to invest on a property or to invest in a property that is under your name or that is under your care. And if that is the case, it seems like you have amounted or accumulated the amount of money you wanted or needed to start investing in a property. For those of you who have been lacking funds or in need of funds to maybe pay the bills, pay the rent, things are changing for you. You are getting those funds, especially if it's the case that you were recently employed, because a paycheck is guaranteed. And a paycheck that will be enough to pay the bills, pay the rent, or pay anything that is due. I heard electricity bill in specific. But with the home here, this also makes me think of you having enough to sustain you, you making enough money to live well, to live securely. Some of you may work from home, or if you have been looking to work from home, I see it happening for you. Right? If it's not from home, then the goal may be a remote job. And if that is your goal, you will be working remotely. For those of you who ask if you can take work home or if you can work from home for a certain amount of time because of whatever reason, you will be given permission to do so, or access to do so is what I heard. But with the Seven of Pentacles, which makes me think of handiwork or work that you do with your hands, some of you may be construction workers, you may be contractors or electricians, plumbers, you may have a technical job or a technical career. And if so, you have gained a good reputation in this career, job, work field. I feel like by this point you have a clientele, but if you have recently gotten started in this career, or maybe if you have recently started your own business, like your plumbing business, for example. This is just an example, right? This could be pertaining to any other career or business. You're off to a good start. You have a solid foundation and you are gaining momentum, right? I see you, it's a weird way to put it, but I see you kind of collecting customers. You're starting to build your own clientele. And home made me think of a good base. Right? Yeah, some of you might have definitely kickstarted a business not so long ago, and you might have started this business from home, and it's starting to gain traction. Like it's starting to do pretty well. It's starting to give you profit, or maybe recently it has reached a break-even point. And so because it has, now what you are receiving is actual profit, right? Not just a return of your investment. Pretty nice. But I also see a situation in which maybe for a while you were doing something, but you weren't getting any financial profit from it. I know this might sound similar to what I just mentioned, but there is a specific example that is coming to mind, which is that of YouTube. You can start a YouTube channel, but you don't start profiting from it until you reach a certain amount of subscribers. I don't know if it's still the same as it was a couple years ago, which was 1,000, a little more than 1,000, but only then do you get monetized, or your channel or videos get monetized on YouTube. Some of you may have a YouTube channel, but if not, then some of you could be in a situation where you needed to reach like a specific milestone, for example, before you could start actually profiting or making a business out of whatever you were working on or developing. Okay, so 2 cards fell out and we have 66 with 3 is a crowd, trios, community, and the message. There are 3 or more energies to potentially work with or harness, 2 of which are not your own. These energies could want more from you in some way, or just 1 or 2 of them could be a secret energy not yet brought to the forefront. On the other hand, a situation where there is a crowd and excitement may just be beneficial for you. And we also have soft with delicate, the number 25, and the message, submerge yourself with softness and feminine energy to find a space of euphoria. Touch the softness of blankets, plush pillows, animals, soft clothing, love making. Okay, so the number 66, 6, and or 25 could be as significant. I mentioned them because those are the numbers of these 2 cards. But 3 is a crowd made me think of a community. It also made me think of a clientele and colleagues, peers. So yeah, for those of you who would benefit from gathering a community, maybe gathering a following, garnering attention, then it seems like you are building a beautiful, solid community. You are garnering positive attention, as mentioned before. I do see you receiving recognition for your hard work, your effort, also for the quality of your work. Right? I feel like you do offer quality products or services that are of high quality, or that show that you care, that you pay attention, that you're interested in the happiness of your customers, of your clients, or you do care about your reputation or the reputation of your work, or business if you have a business. So if you do happen to be online, it seems like you are starting to gain a following or will be gaining more followers. I see more people interested in what you do, interested in your business, interested in your service, interested in your content. But as mentioned before, if you are a contractor, if you do work on commissions, I do see other projects lined up for you. So if right now you're working on a project, pretty soon you will be receiving news that other people want to work with you, and you might find yourselves with maybe up to 3 projects or more lined up for you back to back. Like after you finish with this one, you will have another project, and after you finish with that one, you will have another one waiting for you, and so forth. So with soft and delicate, I feel like you are being advised to try not to bite more than you can chew, so that you can keep providing something of high caliber and high quality. Because, it's not always the case. I know some people work very well under pressure, but sometimes it happens to be that when we are feeling pressured or running low on time, we end up rushing through things just to finish them, right? Just to meet the deadline. So yeah, if you can, remember to schedule things accordingly in a way that gives you enough time to work on each project, to work on each task without rushing through it. With 3 is a crowd, for those of you who are employers, or you do have more than one thing going for you, like more than one business, or maybe you have a business with different branches or different departments. It's very likely that soon you will be creating your own team who will be helping you out with managing your multiple businesses or multiple departments, or who will simply be helping you out with whatever responsibilities you have been handling yourself. Right? Because with the 7 of Pentacles, I do see things getting pretty, maybe not hectic, could be, but pretty busy. Yeah, so you could be asking for assistance. You could literally be hiring people who you will be meeting for the first time, or some of you may be deciding to keep it in the family and hire family members and or friends. Because I do see the potential of possibly starting a family business. Or maybe some of you do run or manage a family business. And it seems like things are faring pretty well in this family business. I also see you receiving a lot of requests or orders if you sell products yeah, and that might be the reason some of you might be looking into your inventory, or you might be hiring assistants or a team to help you fill out all of these orders. But if you offer services, I do see you being pretty booked or needing to kind of manage your schedule to fit as many requests or to book in as many appointments without stretching yourself thin or finding yourself feeling pressured for time. I wonder if you have actually launched something new, maybe started a new branch, a new department, or you started offering a new service. And so you're kind of working on further developing that and getting it stabilized. The word soft made me think of the expression soft launch, which I had to look up because I didn't know what it meant. And apparently it's the release of a new product or service to a restricted audience or market in advance of a full launch. Oh, okay. So some of you might have softly launched or done a soft launch recently. And if that is the case, it seems like the feedback that you are receiving has been pretty positive, or it will be pretty positive. Like it's showing good prospects, good potential. So this may end up being something that you keep, or that when you do a full launch of it will be a big success, or will end up selling out if that applies. But I see a community, a clientele, a target audience taking to this quite well, and or you decided to make it something permanent. Maybe if it's not that you are doing a soft launch of a product or of a line, this could even be in regards to yourself, maybe, or to just a business that you're starting. And right now you're testing waters, you're seeing, am I a good fit for this workplace? Does this business have potential? Can I grow here in this community or in this industry? And so far you're seeing potential. So far you're seeing, yeah, I can stick around here, or yeah, I do like this work environment, or yeah, I can see myself growing here. I can see myself excelling here. So the prospects are looking pretty good. There was a specific example that came to mind, but again, this is just an example. It could be the situation for some, but if not, remember, you could just consider this as an example, which is of someone who had a following on a specific social media platform, let's say Instagram. And because they were doing so well on Instagram, their community, their following started asking this creator to start maybe to consider posting on YouTube, on the social media platform YouTube, to start maybe creating longer content. And this content creator was thinking about it, until finally they went for it and tried it out. And it did quite well. And what got them even more excited and really started them thinking on making YouTube maybe their next source of income, or just their next business, or their next main social media platform to post content on, was that they were not only receiving maybe views from their current community, but they were all starting to gain new followers. They were receiving attention from a whole new audience. And so that really showed them that, hey, there are good prospects here. I can grow here. I can expand my community here. I can gain more traction through this social media platform. Again, this could be serving as an example if it's not your literal situation. Okay, but I want to reveal the card that is at the bottom of the deck, and we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is associated with the element of fire, which will be Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. I was merging the words Leo and Aries, and gave birth to Larry's. Okay, but the Knight of Wands can indicate action, excitement, confidence, and adventure. The Knight of Wands can be hasty at times because they are very free-spirited, so they do not mind taking risks. They kind of live off of that adrenaline, and they are very charismatic. as well. The Knight of Wands sometimes likes to march to the beat of their own drum, and so because of that, they can become a bit of a rebel when they are told to do something in a certain way and not allow the freedom to do as they feel or they would like. So with the Knight of Wands, it seems like what is next is you taking the lead in whatever arena, department, industry you're currently in or focusing on. Right? So in other words, you're taking charge, or that's your aim. I feel like for some of you, what is next is you aiming to take charge. What I also see being next for you is you given more freedom to do things your way or experiment, to try new ways of working, or I heard formatting, organizing, or even managing. If you are currently working somewhere or you are looking for employment, though I feel like a lot of you kind of already went through that. You were looking for employment, you got employed, and now you're working. But if you're currently looking for employment, know that you will be employed very, very soon. You will be receiving a really good job offer in which there is potential for you to either climb up the corporate ladder or grow. But what I'm seeing is whilst you are working somewhere under someone, you will be delegated a responsibility or you will be given a role, right? There's almost this feeling of a chance, like given the chance to rise to the occasion, to show whether or not you can handle. I heard a high risk job, that could be the case, and I'm not even sure what that means. That's just what came to mind. But it's more like handle a big responsibility. Can you handle like a manager position? Can you handle overseeing this department, right? Can you make decisions that require critical thinking, right? Or require for you to think quickly on the spot, that sort of thing. Because with wands being so fast paced, the Knight of Wands representing risk, there is a bit of like high stakes here, or a position that requires for you to be on task, ready to take action, ready to assume your position, that sort of thing. So if you are someone who craves stimulation or needs it, or else you get really bored and tired, then I see this job or this position being very suitable for you, because it is a job that will require for you to be on the go, or just as mentioned, be ready to assume your position. But the Knight of Wands also indicates eagerness. So I also sense potential because of that. So it almost feels like this area of life itself is eager to get going. It's eager to, in a way, prove itself or just be tested, right? Be given the opportunity to test its skills, to show you what it can do. So if you have a business, it seems like your business is ready to work with you, to give it all that it's got to reach its fullest potential. Right? So that lets me know that you have a good business. You have a good business plan, a good business idea. You have started your business on a solid foundation. You have maybe right now all the resources or just all the factors that you need to excel, to gain some momentum. I don't know how to best explain this, but this could be a right time, right place kind of situation where right now it's like the perfect time to launch something, to kickstart something, to put your work out there, because there are so many factors in your favor, right? Like for example, let's say person A is ready to launch a product, right? And now is the perfect time to launch this product because that's exactly what the people are looking for, right? That's exactly what is a trending or doing well in the market. And so the time itself is pretty advantageous for this business to do well, for these products to sell well, right? Because I mentioned YouTube, this makes me think of the algorithm, right? If you have a YouTube channel, you're thinking about posting videos online, maybe not on YouTube, maybe on a different social media platform, then now's the good time to do so because the algorithm is favoring you. or will favor you. The algorithm will pick your content right up. Right? But the Knight of Wands could also be representing your energy. What is next for you is this a passion, this fuel to get going, to start creating, to produce, to give it your all. I see you being pretty passionate about your work, or just having the energy, the vitality to get the job done. Right, so maybe this also has something to do with timing. Like right now is the perfect time of the year for you to take on these projects, for you to start a new job, for you to take on these, I keep referring to them as high risk jobs, but it doesn't have to be high risk in that, oh, they're so dangerous, but more so that they do require for you to be like focused and ready, because this is the time of the year where you are quite focused, or you're being blessed with high vitality and with positive motivation, something along those lines. And so you have the fuel to do what you need to do to excel in this area of life, or to, I heard, to find passion in your work, to feel passionate about your work. But let me pull out a clarifier. Maybe it has something to do with, this is the time in which you would get the most fulfillment out of working, just working in general, or out of working on your personal projects, on your endeavors, or on producing, on creating, on developing your company, or developing a product line, or working with a team. Because also, if you are working with a team, or if you have hired new employees, the Knight of Wands could be representing their energy as well. Like what is next is you having focused and eager employees. You having a team that is eager and ready to work with you to create, and who are very excited about their job, about their responsibilities, or just doing a job well done. Well, yes. Sorry, I got excited. And we have the Nine of Pentacles to clarify. So the Nine of Pentacles can often indicate, no, it does indicate riches, opulence, material success. The Nine of Pentacles represents a thriving energy. And oftentimes when the Nine of Pentacles shows up in a spread, it lets me know that someone is working independently, or if they're not working for themselves, then they are doing pretty well for themselves in the area of life of work, career, because they have enough, or they're earning enough to be financially independent, right? So again, if you are employed, if you're currently looking for employment, I do see you working somewhere where you're getting paid well, or where you will end up getting paid very well, because I did speak of promotions. I did speak of your hard work, your effort, dedication being rewarded, right? So these could be through bonuses, these could be through a raise in your salary that comes with a promotion, or just really great benefits. I see that with the Nine of Pentacles especially. So, but if you are an independent worker, if you are self-employed, if you are a contractor or a business owner, things will be improving for you in this area of life. I do see you earning more, or making more in revenue and profit, and you having a clientele, you having a following. I wonder if you are soft launching something, because the Nine of Pentacles makes me think of someone who by this point, like, they have a name for their business. Maybe right now you have something going on, up and running, but it's not like set in stone. Like maybe you're still thinking about what to name your business, or maybe you're still thinking about the image of your business, the logo, or you're still working on setting something up, maybe like a physical location for your business, or an office. Or maybe you're still at a point where you don't feel like this is yet a business. Like, even though it is, like legally it is, You don't feel like this is your career, like this is your profession, like something still needs to click. And if you resonate with that, then what is next for you is whatever needs to clicking. It's like you realizing, oh, no, yes, this is my profession now. This is my business. I am a business owner. I am a professional. I am in this profession. So the Nine of Pentacles could be talking about like your confidence as well, your self-esteem when it comes to this area of life, like you recognizing that you are part of this industry, right? I wonder if some of you struggled with something like imposter syndrome, or maybe you were waiting to achieve a specific milestone to then be able to fully register like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is my business now. This is my career. This is my profession. And if that is the case, you're achieving that milestone. And so it's finally clicking in your mind. Oh, like, yeah, this is my profession. But the Nine of Pentacles also makes me think of you profiting, right? You're earning money from this, right? Something maybe has become your main source of income, or you have reached this point where you can say, oh, this can become my main source of income. Like I can live off of this. I can pay bills from what I receive from this endeavor, from this workplace. Like, thank goodness I have the money now. I have something that is secure. Yeah, because all of these pentacles make me think of financial security. So I see you being and feeling pretty reassured by how well something is doing. And not only by the look of something, how well it's doing, but also by like tangible proof. But I want to read the card that is on the back of the... Wait, what? I want to read the message. I heard a noise and it totally distracted me. But I want to read the message that is on the back of this card. So we have Polar Bear with camouflage, and the message: in the presence of Polar Bear, we are reminded that blending in can be as useful and courageous as standing out. Like his winter, in deep, silent contemplation, we are able to achieve new insight. By standing back and observing, we are able to ready ourselves to share our most powerful gifts. With Polar Bear's tact, we learn to cloak ourselves in shadow, waiting for the right moment to emerge. He imparts patience, teaching us to employ strategy to carry on. Wow, yeah, so I spoke of patience, right? And I spoke of a soft launch, which makes me think of, waiting for the right moment to emerge. I did also mention something about being the right time and the right place. So yeah, maybe some of you have been waiting for like a right timing to kickstart something, to launch something. And if you have been strategizing, it seems like your strategies are working. You're getting good results, good outcomes out of them. And if you have been working behind the scenes for a while now, honing your skills, preparing something, getting something started, all that time you put in working on this, it's paying off. And it's very interesting because at the start of the reading, there was that message of like wasting away. So maybe at some point you felt that to be the case, but you're being let known that no time you invested in honing your skills or in making preparations will be wasted. And if it is the case that right now you have a business idea, if there is some creative idea brewing in your mind, or that's been sitting there for a while collecting dust in the corners of your mind, it's time for you to start working on it. The Ace of Pentacles is that idea of yours. And so this is proving to be something of great potential. You're possibly sitting on a golden coin or letting a golden coin accumulate dust in your mind. So it's time to invest it by actually setting it into motion, putting it into practice. This could even be a skill if it's not an idea. Maybe you have a skill that will help you immensely in this area of life. It will help you get started, get going. If you were just to take some time to hone it, work with it, see what you can create with it, what you can do with it. But soft and delicate is reminding you to be easy on yourself. Remind yourself to take it slow every now and then. with this passionate energy coming through from the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles often indicates someone who is quite ambitious. It's okay for you to be this go-getter, but it's also important for you to take some time to take care of you, take care of your basic needs, and to slow down in order to be able to recover all the energy that you have exerted. And I think soft and delicate is maybe a heads up. Again, only take that which resonates, right? You don't have to consider this message at all if you don't feel like it applies to you or just you don't want to consider it. But what is coming through is if you are someone who can come through very strongly, if you're entering into a new work environment, you're being advised to take a more slow, soft or subtler approach this time around, especially if you have noticed that coming this strong right off the bat has been the reason why you have collided with others or things haven't gone very smoothly in this area of life. This isn't about dimming your light. This is about like wanting to take charge immediately or rushing into things as well. Right? The example that is coming to mind is someone is given an assignment, and before they're even instructed about what to do with this assignment, how to complete it, the person has already gone off and started working on it. And it's like, wait, but I haven't even told you what to do yet. But the person is so eager to get the assignment done and to kind of take charge in that moment that they skip that entirely. They ignore it, which could end up being to their detriment because the information they decided to ignore or simply not listen to would be crucial in them completing the assignment efficiently or well, right? Another example that is coming to mind is someone who wants to take charge by assuming others' position, right? Wanting to do others' job for them. And that could end up causing friction at the workplace. Or someone wanting to give orders when maybe they're not in the position to do so. So apply that how you will if it resonates. But there is a heads up for maybe this time around to take a more softer approach, to maybe listen to the rules and regulations, listen to the instructions first before setting off on your own or before assuming what you believe is needed or wanted from you at that moment. So that's just the advice for you guys. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through. Things I want to point out before I bring your reading to an end. The Nine of Pentacles, I believe, is associated with the zodiac sign Virgo. The Ace of Pentacles is associated with earth signs, which will be Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. The midheaven or 10th house is associated with Capricorn. So we have Capricorn and Virgo, and the Knight of Pentacles is associated with fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. The number 3, the number 6, or numbers divisible by 3 may be of significance. Also, the number 17 could be of importance. The number 17 reminds me of the 17th major arcana of the deck, which is the Star card. So the Star card of the tarot could be of significance for you guys, which is a card, by the way, that is associated with the zodiac sign Aquarius. So far I'm seeing Aquarius, Virgo, and Capricorn to be of significance. They could be important seasons to look out for, seasons in which you might be achieving a major milestone, or you might be taking initiative in this area of life, or in which it would be a good idea for you to take initiative in this area of life because maybe that's the perfect time to get the ball rolling. But let's see, feathers, cotton, or soft. I heard like soft duvet, soft blankets, soft sheets could be of significance. Maybe some of you will be purchasing or gifting yourself or gifting someone new sheets, cotton sheets, or you will be treating yourself to something that in your eyes is quite luxurious. It feels really good, especially it feels good on your skin is what I heard. I also thought of perfume scents, but bears, polar bears could be of significance as well. Yes, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the buffalo, bienvenidos to your reading. So I know this may sound a bit silly, but looking at the illustration, it almost seems, at least to me, that this buffalo is getting ready to pounce or take a leap. So currently you may be preparing to make a big career move, or maybe you're waiting for some kind of sign or a confirmation. It could be a literal approval or green light from an authority to move forward, to take action, or to jump at some opportunity. Maybe you're waiting for a specific job position to open up, or for a specific company or workplace to start employing or accepting applications. I also heard right now in my mind a program. So I'm not really delving into academics, higher learning, studies, but some of you may be waiting for the opportunity to enroll in a course, a class, a seminar, or apply for a study program. Yeah, I do get this overall feeling of getting ready to pounce. But I'm going to set this card aside, and we'll reveal the message on the back of it near the end of your reading. Because first, I am going to draw out a tarot card, which will help us with the energy check-in. Once I have drawn out this card, I will set this deck aside and start drawing out cards from other different decks to look at what is currently unfolding in this area of life. Once I have done that, I will go back to this deck to look at the card at the bottom of it, because that specific card will give us info about what is next in this area of life. Okay, let us start off with the energy check-in. Oh, that was fast. And we have the Page of Wands. Interesting, because the page also makes me think of someone who is getting ready to pounce. The page is the youngest of the court. Oh, let me set this deck aside. So it often indicates beginnings, a fresh new energy. It can also represent student, an apprentice, a novice, someone who is just getting started. And wands are all about action, enthusiasm, passion, vigor, and creativity. So I see you looking forward to something in this area of life. I sense you being quite excited or just eager to participate, is what I heard, to get started, get going, or even to start creating. The Page of Wands in specific can indicate good news received via a letter, a call, or by word of mouth. The Page of Wands often represents someone who is very cheerful, childlike, optimistic, and fearless. So if you've been waiting for good news, if you've been waiting to hear that, yeah, that job position has just opened up, or that company is now looking for employees, or that program is now accepting applications, then it seems like very soon you will be receiving these good news. And because we have this page energy, I see you being at the forefront, right? So if you've been wanting to get a spot somewhere, or you have been wanting to get the opportunity to be a contestant, to maybe compete for a position or just apply somewhere and be considered, then you will be getting this opportunity, because I see you being like at the front of the line or being the first to arrive. You're coming through with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot to offer. And if this is not about you seeking an opportunity to apply somewhere or to be a contestant or a contender, then this could be about you feeling this new sense of inspiration, or feeling once more inspired about a certain career path or job or work that you have been on or in for a while now. I wonder if some of you are creatives, content creators, because the vibe I'm picking up from this Page of Wands is someone who recently got an idea for like a new creation, for a new project, or they recently got an idea of how they can proceed with a creative endeavor of theirs. Like how they can spice things up, mix things up a little bit, how they can bring joy and fun back into their work, their art, content, or their career, their profession, this area of life in specific. I wonder if some of you recently took a break, if you did go on a bit of a hiatus, and the Page of Wands is representing your comeback or your desire to come back, get reinstated in a job, in a workplace, or just get back to working. Because the Page of Wands is making me think of someone who has freshened up, like they're feeling fresh, they're feeling renewed, and they're ready to start over or just get started. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. Put this here. If you have recently emailed someone with a request, or you have reached out to someone in hopes to collaborate with them or just get in contact with them, it seems like right now you're waiting. You're waiting for a response, for a reply. And I'm sensing high hopes to receive a yes or a positive response or good news. But we have Libra with beauty, balance, fairness, equality, diplomacy, charismatic, people-pleasing, vain, passive, and dependency. Yeah, so as mentioned, the Page of Wands is very charismatic, and with Libra coming through, it seems like right now you are oozing charisma. And I feel that to be true because I'm feeling pretty giddy. I find myself chuckling a lot, and I really don't know why. I'm just feeling a bit chirpy right now. Yeah, so you could bring a good feel energy into a workplace, or right now you may just be feeling good, or that's what you're bringing into your new projects or projects that you're currently working on, or into a community that is part of your career, profession. You're bringing in some playfulness, some fun, and also something new. The Page of Wands with Libra makes me think of a breath of fresh air. Yeah, so maybe some of you have been needing a breath of fresh air. Maybe some of you have been craving stimulation. You have been craving something different. And you're ready. You're ready to either be that difference or bring in that something new, something different. Okay, and we have the moon. So the moon makes me think of the mystic. The moon can indicate mysticism, the occult, or it can indicate something that is hidden. The moon is associated with illusions, the subconscious, the unconscious mind, as well as with the psyche. The moon often can indicate one's intuition, since it is associated with the element of water, and water is often associated with intuition and creativity. So the moon makes me think of Pisces, the zodiac sign Pisces, and Pisces is very creative, very intuitive. Pisces is known as the daydreamer. So as mentioned before, right now you may be feeling very inspired and very eager to get started, to get going. You might have one or more ideas kind of brewing in your mind, and not just brewing, but ready to be executed. And it seems like you yourself are ready to start working on them, or to start planning them to then be able to execute them. But the moon, because I did mention that it indicates mystery or hidden things, can indicate that right now something is a mystery to you, right? So I mentioned you possibly waiting for a response or reply. And so, yeah, what may be hidden for you is another's thoughts, another's sentiments, whether someone will say yes to you or not, when someone will reply to you, when an offer will open up, etc. But because the moon can indicate intuition, it seems like you have high hopes because you have this sense, this feeling, this knowing that things will work out, right? Like if you're waiting for a specific job opening, you're waiting for it because you know it's going to be offered, right? You know you will get an opportunity to apply, to go for it. Right? You have a good feeling about something, in other words. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. You may also have a good feeling about an idea that's been brewing in your mind about a project you're thinking about working on. But your other card is magnetic stimulus with Muse, the number 61, and the message: find something that attracts you, whether simple visual imagery of beauty or examining your partner's beauty. On the other hand, there may be a magnetic attraction to something you didn't expect to come, or someone will be magnetized by you. Try and understand the motive and if it should be questioned or pursued. Yeah, so as mentioned, you do have a good feeling about something or the outcome of something. If you felt drawn to connect with someone, to reach out to someone, it's for a reason. I feel it was not just out of a random impulse. No, actually, it could have felt like that, like some inspired action, because you were being guided to do so, because you saw potential there. And this magnetic stimulus is hinting at that things will work out, right? Whoever it is that you felt drawn to, whatever it is that you felt drawn to, will end up being drawn to you like magnets, right? So maybe it's just about timing. It's just a matter of time before things connect, before you're able to connect with someone or you receive a response from whoever you're waiting on. But I also see you drawing in good opportunities. You're possibly manifesting an opportunity. And we do have the word beauty showing up twice in your spread. So once again, you're coming through as very magnetic, charismatic, and magnetic. There is something about you that right now might feel otherworldly, or just shows that you are feeling good inside, or you're feeling very hopeful. It almost, you know what I was reminded of? A glow stick. You know, a glow stick, before you crack the vial inside of it, it's just a stick, right? It's not glowing. But once you crack the vial inside of it and chemistry starts doing its thing, then it starts glowing. Then you get that beautiful glow from it. And it's sort of like that. It's like for a while you were this stick that wasn't glowing, but then something clicked within you, something snapped, but in a good way. It's like, think of the snap as an aha moment, like a revelation, a moment of euphoria or just inspiration. And then you started glowing. You started emitting this beautiful light, this beautiful glow. And that's you right now, like activated. And so this lets me know that you are feeling inspired, or you've recently been inspired by something. With Muse here, it definitely feels like something has sparked some kind of interest in you, or has sparked your imagination, your creativity, and it has got you going. It is what has you maybe right now creating or starting new projects or planning new projects, or maybe even looking for potential collaborators. It is what had you taking inspired action, like reaching out to people, applying to places, or maybe looking for opportunities, looking for job openings. Or it is the thing that has sparked faith in you, right? Optimism in you. This is just an example. It doesn't have to apply to everyone. I mean, only take it if it resonates. But for some, this could be a case where you recently received maybe a personal reading, or you saw tune into a general reading online. And what came through in the reading gave you hope. It boosted your confidence, or it gave you optimism about the future, or about the potential or the plausibility of something happening for you, of something manifesting, of something coming to be. And so now you're all in. Now you're not doubting. Now you're not necessarily waiting, you're more so ready to receive. It's like, okay, I'm not just hoping for this to happen, I'm attracting it. But let me draw out the last card of this set. Ooh, and we have the Joker. Beautiful. So the Joker can be associated with the zodiac sign, with the full card in traditional tarot. But I have given this specific card my own meaning. And so this card has become my free pass card. So a free pass card can provide you with a second chance, a second opportunity at something, an opportunity to rectify a mistake, or just get a do-over. Or it can also offer you free access, the opportunity to travel anywhere without fee. So if you feel like there's been a misunderstanding, or there was an opportunity that you missed, it seems like things are getting cleared up, or you're getting a second opportunity, a second chance to try again, right? What came through in specific is some of you are getting a second opportunity to work with someone that you worked with in the past and it went very well, like with them, working with them. I get a bit of like a VIP kind of energy where you might be given literally a VIP pass, or just special privileges or permission to gain access to something that other people are either competing for or waiting in long lines for, or have to wait, be on some kind of wait list to even get an opportunity for it. Or this could be an indicator that you will get an offer that a lot of people are waiting on. The Joker card also makes me think of getting a head start, or getting your first big break or a big break, like something that allows you 10 steps ahead, allows you to skip or jump 10 steps ahead. Yeah, I pointed at the buffalo because I remember letting you guys know that it seemed to me like the buffalo was getting ready to pounce or to leap. Yeah, and because we have the moon here, there's a bit of mystery around this. It's like we're not getting much information about how this is going to unfold, how it's going to happen, from which direction it's going to come in. You're just being let know that you will be offered or given an amazing opportunity, a head start, or something that will allow for you to propel forward in a short amount of time. The Joker card, because it can be associated with the Fool card in traditional tarot, can indicate new beginnings, right? The Fool card is the 0 major arcana of the deck, which the number 0 indicates a clean slate. So it's not just the beginning, it's before the beginning, before we even get started. Anything is possible with the Fool card. The Fool also represents playfulness and childlike wonder. The Fool card also is full of hope and optimism. So yeah, I see you being and feeling quite optimistic, or just very excited, very eager to go on an adventure, to try something out, to get started, to get going. And you might not have a clear plan. That's how it's coming through. You might be currently working on a plan, but not everything is clear. Not all the details are clear. You might still be working some things out, some details out, but you're still excited and you feel great potential when it comes to this. With the Moon card, there could be a bit slight hesitation. There could be a little bit of fear, and it might come from, not knowing the full details of this, not having the plan fleshed out yet. But I feel like the excitement, the hope, or the potential overrides the uncertainties or the unknowns. And actually, the full card in the tarot can indicate a leap of faith. So, yeah, some of you may literally be getting ready to take some kind of leap of faith in this area of life with a new project, a new idea, a new endeavor, or some kind of test run. You could also just be betting on yourself, believing in your chances by applying somewhere that maybe in the past you felt too scared to apply or too intimidated by the thought of applying there, because at that time you believed that your chances of getting approved or receiving a yes or moving forward were quite slim. Yeah, it seems like now you're on a different mindset. Now you're in this mindset of, hey, it might happen, so why not just try it? Why not just go for it? And with Libra, because we do have this energy of people pleasing, and then we have magnetic stimulus with the Page of Wands. If there were people pleasing tendencies in the past, it seems like, the word that came to mind is overriding it. You're currently overriding it. It's sort of like you're stepping away from it through a new endeavor, or through you giving something a chance, or giving yourself a chance at trying something that is a little bit out of your comfort zone, or that aligns more with you, or that truly inspires you, right? Because I feel like right now, or I have yet to pull out the card or look at the card that will represent what is next for you, but based on this energy, what is unfolding right now is you kind of moving towards something that is more representative of you, your personality, or more representative of what you would like to create, what you would like to do, what you would like to try out, right? So again, if in the past you were kind of playing it safe by, in a way, coloring inside of the lines, doing what you thought was expected of you, or just doing what you knew would do well, and never really experimenting, never really getting a bit audacious, it seems like now you're deciding to color outside of the line a little bit. You're deciding to test waters and be innovative, bit experimental, or just allow your curiosity to take you somewhere new. But I do want to look at the card that is at the bottom of the deck. So what is next for you? Wow, okay, sorry. We have the Ten of Pentacles representing what is next for you, which is an amazing card to get in this area of life. And then I was going on and on about the Fool card, and look what's at the bottom of the Ten of Pentacles, the Fool card. Yeah, but I kind of want to keep this card, but I'm just going to set this deck aside for the meanwhile, because I might end up pulling a clarifier for the Ten of Cups. For the Ten of Coins, I mean. And the Ten of Coins, or the Ten of Pentacles, indicates financial abundance, financial stability. It's also a card that can indicate or hint at generational wealth, but it also indicates and represents long-term success, long-term financial security. I also want to point out that the Ten of Pentacles can indicate an unexpected financial windfall, or an opportunity to marry into money. Interesting. So this card is hinting at a major breakthrough in this area of life. That's what is next for you, a major breakthrough. So if right now you have some kind of idea, some kind of plan that maybe it's not fully fleshed out, and you're feeling very excited about this, there is a reason why you're feeling very excited about this, because you already sense and know that this is a good idea. Or if you're excited about applying somewhere or hearing back from someone, again, you're in the right, because you know that this is a good work, job, career opportunity. This job work opportunity could be the start of your career, or it's just something that will give you a good head start in your career. It will bring you a lot of financial abundance or financial securities, right? This is the job that maybe will help you acquire or build some kind of savings or a financial safety net. especially if that is something that you have been wanting or you know you would benefit from having. But the Ten of Pentacles also, hints at something long term. So if you have been waiting to hear back from somewhere that you applied to, the Ten of Pentacles lets me know that you will be receiving a yes from them. You will be getting hired. And it's very, very likely that you will end up working at this place or working for this person for quite some time. So if there's some kind of probation period, training period that you need to go through first before you receive a full-time position, know that you will pass all of that, because the Ten of Pentacles is letting me know, like, no, you'll be settling down there. You will be working there for a while. If for a while for you means months, then it will be months. But if it means years, then it could end up being years. Apart from this, the Ten of Pentacles lets me know that you will be receiving a return of your investment, or something will be giving enough back to you that you can start making a living off of it, that you can start sustaining yourself with it, right? So I'm seeing stable income, and I'm also seeing you receiving good profit, good revenue. So if right now things aren't faring very well for you in the financial department, if you aren't receiving a lot of recognition, and you have something new, like a new idea for a new project, you have like this inkling, this urge to experiment a bit, to spice things up. That feeling, that inkling, that nudge, that urge could be for a reason, because it could be that very thing that will help move things in this area of your life in a new direction, in a positive direction. It will be the thing that will get you recognition, or will open doors of opportunities for you in this area of life. It will be the thing that will create some kind of momentum. Now, I have heard that the Ten of Pentacles can indicate retirement. So some of you could have reached a point in this area of life where you're ready to retire. You already have your financial safety nets. You already done your time when it comes to this area of life, and you're ready to clock out and dedicate the rest of your time, the rest of your life to you, to your loved ones, to enjoying yourself, treating yourself, and exploring new avenues. Maybe investing time in your hobbies. Some of you, even though you might be retiring from a job or retiring from a career, you could be deciding to start something of your own, right? Something that could be a bit passive, or could turn into a passive income, or it could just be like a hobby to you, but that you will end up financially profiting from it in some kind of way, right? Because we have the muse here. This makes me think of an artist. So some of you could be investing time in your artistic skills, and maybe an art form. And if you are an artist, if you are a creator, you might end up selling your art or sharing it with others, maybe on a social media platform, and end up profiting from it. There's this feeling of like unintentionally, like maybe that wasn't your goal, but you do end up profiting from it, or a door for that opens up for you, like the possibility of you turning this into a source of income, right? And then it will be up to you whether you want to do that or not, but the opportunity will be there. Yes, but I'm sensing a turning point for some of you, especially if right now you don't feel like things are going that great in this area of life, or like you would benefit from a little boost, from a little kick. Yeah, then I see you getting that boost and experiencing that turning point through you trying something new, or through you having fun again in this area of life, through you getting creative, and allowing yourself to get inspired and be inspired. And maybe work with your imagination, tap into your intuition to come up with new ideas, to come up with new approaches. The moon card also makes me think of authenticity, the psyche. Right? So you're stepping into a more authentic way of, I heard producing, but creating, And you're definitely delving more into your passions, like what excites you, what inspires you, to then start creating or developing or further developing something that will end up giving back to you, something that will end up doing well. Yeah, so I feel like some of you are learning. There's this feeling of you having this aha moment or this moment of revelation where you're realizing that that's what was missing, or that was the point all along for you to do something or pursue something, create something that was more representative of you, of your personality, or that made more sense to you, or that was possibly free flowing, right? Because I feel like in the past there could have been a lot of restrictions, or there was maybe some fear around ruffling people's feathers, or not being perceived in a certain light, or displeasing people, disappointing people, or a fear of not doing well could have led to you kind of micromanaging something that you were overseeing, or micromanaging yourself, and that didn't allow for you to free flow, or that didn't allow for you to maybe apply for jobs that you really resonated with and that you actually wanted to work in, or create things that brought you joy and that allowed for you to be you, that allowed for you to showcase your talents. And now you're exploring something that you're not overthinking, right? That you're not micromanaging, that you're not trying to adjust and correct in hopes that it will please or appease a certain person or audience or group of people, or that it will be accepted, or that it will be well liked. So you're taking a bit of a risk, but there's a lot of excitement around it, and I feel like you're going to be rewarded for this risk that you're taking, because it's the sort of risk that you've been needing in order to break free, or to move up in this area of life, to move on to the next level, or to proceed. But let me see, anything else clarifying the Ten of Pentacles? These are too many cards, so I'm going to try again. The reason why I usually don't take more than 2 cards at a time is because reading too many cards at a time tends to overwhelm me, or can end up overwhelming me. Yeah, the most I will take at a time from the same deck is 2 cards. Per shuffle from the same deck is 2 cards. Okay, let's... Yeah, I don't know why I had to explain myself for that. Yeah, maybe in the past you felt this need to do just that, to like explain yourself or have some kind of justification for everything that you did. Or again, there could have been a lot of over explaining because there was a fear of being misperceived, misjudged, or there was a tendency to people please. But I feel like right now, it's not like you have overcome that people-pleasing tendency. It could be the case, but it feels more like this new inspiration, like this excitement for this new idea that you have, this new project. It's overriding that people-pleasing tendency. It's distracting you from it. It outweighs the need to people-please, or to overthink, or over-explain yourself. Yeah, and a lot of you will come to realize that your natural charm, your true personality, is what ends up attracting the most abundance and blessings into your life. Maybe your natural interests, or just your true interests, your fascination for something, your curiosity, your imagination, your creativity is what ends up attracting the most blessings and abundance in your life. But anything else that we need to know about what is next for group 2? Wow, the Queen of Pentacles. So more pentacle energy, which indicates stability, security. Pentacles have to do with the realm of finances and career. And the Queen of Pentacles often indicates or represents a business woman or just a business person, someone who is very successful in their endeavors and their career with their profession. The Queen of Pentacles also represents wealth or someone who is very wealthy, who lives in luxury, and who is both practical and organized. The Queen of Pentacles is sometimes seen as a witch, or more specifically a healer. So with the Moon card, yeah, I feel like you guys are very, very intuitive, or very soon you will start to learn how to work with your intuition, maybe even with some psychic healing, magical or witchy abilities to create even more abundance in your life. But I'm also thinking of like natural talents or like innate abilities that you have, that you specifically have. I feel like they're coming to light, or you're kind of owning up to them, you're utilizing them in this area of life, and that is also what is helping you maybe find a job or career that best suits you, or start molding your current profession in a way that is tailored to you, that tailors to you, right? That works for you, and that also brings you wealth and abundance. I feel like the more you learn about yourself, the more maybe you experience radical self-acceptance, or you start working with your innate abilities, start honing your skills, or start maybe looking into your interest and honing skills related to these personal interests of yours. That's when you will start manifesting and creating abundance in this area of life. Yeah, so I don't know, I just get the feeling that some of you might have tried to follow some kind of recipe. Maybe you tried to do something that worked for somebody else in hopes that it would also work for you. And maybe it did work for you to some extent for some time, but then things kind of slowed down, or you felt a little bit off trying to follow this recipe, trying to follow in somebody else's footsteps. And that's when you realize, or maybe through this whole process here, this whole journey that I've been describing here, that's when you realize, oh, it wasn't about me trying to follow in somebody else's footsteps, but it was more so about me finding my own way, paving my own path, creating my own recipe from scratch, right? And through you doing that, that's when you start becoming this queen. You go from this page to this Queen of Pentacles, someone who has their own business, someone who has their own reputation to follow or to maintain, someone who is known for their respective skills, for their respective work ethic, style, fashion, aesthetic, etc. I even heard poise. Yeah, and the Queen of Pentacles being right next to the Ten of Pentacles, I am seeing the possibility of creating generational wealth. I do see you possibly creating something from the ground up, or just you developing something that could end up lasting for a really, really long time. And all this time that it's up and running, it's giving back to you. It's providing you with, I was going to say shelter, could be, but it's providing you with wealth and opportunities in this area of life, or maybe even opportunities in other areas of life as well. Yeah, so this is something that you can definitely expand and further invest in, and or gain a lot from, right? Because again, if you are looking for employment, then the Queen of Pentacles is with the Ten of Pentacles, it's guaranteeing that you will be getting employed and that you will be profiting a lot from this job. You could end up saving a lot through having this job, or just as mentioned before, getting a good start, maybe like a head start in your career. This all of a sudden made me think of like an internship turning into a part-time, turning into a full-time, or you getting an internship opportunity that is paid, like you are getting paid for this internship, and that just being a good source of income and also a good opportunity for you to kickstart your career, or to just get into an industry, introduced into an industry. Yeah, for those of you who have been applying for a study abroad program or you have hopes for that, you're getting it. You are, because I know this reading isn't about studies and academics, but there was a message about a study program. And so if there's any study program that you have been hoping for, to get an opportunity to apply to or get in, because the study program also comes with financial benefits or some career opportunities, then you're getting it. You are getting it. It could also be like a scholarship, right? If you've been needing funds in order to continue pursuing higher education so that then you can start practicing a profession, or start working. Yeah, because I don't know why, but I just see some of you getting an opportunity to be able to study or learn or hone your skills, grow your skill set, while at the same time getting paid. So this Queen of Pentacles could also be representing a boss or someone who will be investing in you, someone who will be offering you an opportunity to polish your skills, grow your skill set, while also getting paid. Or they could be offering you this opportunity through them paying for your training or some kind of training, paying for your classes, for your courses, or your education. This Queen of Pentacles could be representing a specific individual or could be representing like a company, an institution, a program, that sort of thing. Yeah, so, and it's interesting because in this side over here, for what the current energy is and what is unfolding, there's a lot of white. All the cards have a white background, and then in what is next, we have cards that have a black background, black with gold or black with yellow. That's just a very interesting contrast. So this lets me know that there is a major contrast, a before and an after in this area of life. So there will be a turning point, and you will be able to note the difference of this was before this turning point and this is after that turning point. Things are not the same. My status, my financial status has completely changed. I'm at a much more different place than I was before that turning point in this area of life. Yeah, so the Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles makes me think of a successful business owner, someone who is experiencing success in their career, someone who is experiencing financial stability. For those of you who want a stable financial income, you're getting it, you're experiencing it. But if you are someone who is quite money savvy, or you're interested in becoming quite money savvy, in learning how to better manage your finances, then even if you have something like a passive income that tends to fluctuate, if you learn how to properly manage your finances or you learn more about that, you could still end up experiencing financial stability in this area of life. You could end up still building some kind of financial safety net for yourself, or there's this feeling of like guaranteeing financial security in the long run, or for your future self, possibly. Yeah, so look into that if that interests you. But I want to read the card. I keep saying that. I want to read the message that is on the back of the card that you were drawn to. And we have Buffalo with connection, and the message, generation after generation. Generation made me think of generational wealth. Buffalo reminds us of our sacred path. With hope for the future, she encourages us to honor every walk of life, to be grateful for each day, and to respect what we have been given. She tells us of stories entwined with sadness and forgiveness, prosperity and humility. In the shadow of broken promises, she imparts messages of persistence and survival. Her presence awakens responsibility and guides us to live in harmony with one another. When Buffalo presides, it is time to give thanks for all of life's gifts. Interesting. So if you are thinking about retiring soon, or if you have reached a point in your career where you have built a lot of wealth and you're ready to retire because of that, then what is next is you possibly giving back to a community, or maybe you giving back to yourself, by indulging yourself, treating yourself to nice things, or helping others out, helping those who are starting off in their career or who are needing some kind of boost in their career to get going. You could be funding certain projects. You could become an investor. Or that could be what is next, like you becoming a bit of a philanthropist, right? You reaching a point in your career where you have achieved massive success and recognition, and you're in a good, reputable position to start maybe recommending people for certain job positions, or you can start hiring, or you can start helping other people out in their career, maybe giving them a shout out, maybe through collaborating with them. I heard inviting them to your show. Maybe some of you will be the host of some kind of show. And putting them on your platform will give them positive exposure, that sort of thing. But what I'm also seeing is that right now, or what is next, is someone who has achieved massive success, someone who is doing quite well for themselves financially, will be the one assisting you, right? Through maybe collaborating with you, through accepting an offer of collaboration that you have extended to them, through them funding your career, or becoming an investor, or offering to pay your education, or giving you a shout out. But I mentioned before, I also see you being helped inadvertently, because I do see a scenario where you do end up being inspired by someone, right? And that's what helps you come up with something of your own, or that's what helps you gain the motivation to start something of your own, or to start believing in yourself, maybe gain the confidence or just the courage to get something off of the ground, or to pursue your dreams, or to apply for that job, etc. So connection seems to be very, very important here. No man is an island. We are all helping each other in bizarre and weird ways, sometimes directly, other times indirectly, sometimes intentionally, other times unintentionally. So that could be the case here. And interesting, because Libra is associated with the 7th house in astrology, which is the house of long-term partnerships, contracts, marriage as well. And the 10 of Pentacles can indicate a happy marriage, or, I did mention marrying into wealth, right? So yeah, maybe some of you will end up benefiting a lot from connecting or collaborating with someone, partnering up with another who maybe already has a lot of experience in the field that you are interested in pursuing, or in the field that you are currently in. Or some of you might literally end up marrying into wealth, right? You could end up creating wealth for yourself, but also marrying someone who is very successful in their respective career work field, and who is also very wealthy or financially well off. And so that will only add to your wealth if you, of course, decide to join assets or become a power couple dynamic. Connection also makes me think of you connecting with others, connecting with a new audience, connecting with a larger audience, with a larger community, you attracting new people into your world, people who will help you gain even more recognition. Or it seems like connecting with others will be a primary focus in your career, in your line of work. Building connections, networking will be of utmost importance. Or with the Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, you're being let know that what is next is you actually networking, or you establishing important professional connections, or you maybe developing personal connections with people who you end up working with, right? Like someone that you collaborate with will end up being your best friend or someone who you will keep in touch with outside of work. Right? Some of you might end up meeting a significant other, like a spouse, a potential life partner, via your work, at work, or because of your career. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out before I bring your reading to an end. So the zodiac sign Libra could be of significance The moon reminds me of the zodiac sign Pisces. The page of wands is associated with fire signs, so that would be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And the queen of pentacles is an earth sign, so that would be Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. Because we have the 10 of pentacles, the number 10, which reminds me of the 10th house, the zodiac sign Capricorn in specific could be of significance. So Libra, Capricorn, possibly Virgo, Pisces, and or fire sign season could be of significance, could be when you will be experiencing major breakthroughs in this area of life, or the turning point I was mentioning. I know those are a lot of different zodiac signs, but there are different people tuning into this reading. So consider the one that you resonate with the most, or you can just keep them all in mind. I do recommend for you to maybe pause the video or just take some time to really look at the illustrations and just see if there's anything that stands out to you, because that could be serving as a sign or a confirmation. Oh, and I did mention something about a comeback. So if you guys have taken a break, or you had to go on some kind of hiatus from your career, what is next is you coming back, and you coming back strong. Whatever you built is still there to receive you, ready to take you in and get going with you. Right? So be this a clientele, a community, or just your business alone. With the Queen of Pentacles, it seems like you haven't lost your touch. Because we do have this Queen of Pentacles in gold, what is coming through is you still have your Midas touch, right? You're still turning every opportunity into gold, or you will. That is what is next. Whether you're having this comeback or not, or even if you didn't go on a hiatus, some of you could be experiencing what might feel like a comeback, because maybe you were going unseen for a while, or it wasn't going that great for you in this area of life. Your momentum slowed, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're everywhere. You're doing well. You're back on your feet, and you're thriving. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the sea turtle, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, I heard in my mind, lifting the veil. I have no clue what that means. I'm right here sitting thinking to myself, wondering, what does that mean? Because the only thing that was popping up in my mind was literally a veil belonging to a wedding gown, a wedding dress, and a bride lifting her veil at their wedding. So I don't know if a wedding or a marriage ceremony could be of significance for some of you guys. Maybe some of you are getting married pretty soon, or you have currently been investing in a wedding. And if so, this could be serving as a confirmation for you guys. But now that I think about it, lifting the veil could be speaking of a realization, or of an awakening, or you gaining clarity, illusions falling away, and you seeing clearly now. Maybe you are starting to gain clarity or an understanding about your career path, about, if you resonate with it, your life purpose. If you've always felt that you had a certain calling, but up until recently, maybe you weren't able to clearly pinpoint what this calling or purpose was, then it could be that currently, or what is next, is you gaining an understanding about it. You finally realizing what this calling is, or you having better clarity on how to pursue a life's purpose, right? Because it is, to my understanding, that a life's purpose can be fulfilled in many different ways. There's not only one set way to fulfill a life purpose. So, for example, let's say if you feel or you know deep within that your purpose or your calling is to bring about healing or be a healer, then you can fulfill this by becoming a doctor, a nurse, a therapist, a counselor, but also you could bring healing to others by providing them laughter through comedy or entertainment, or by providing them comfort or something they can relate to, maybe via a story or storytelling or a song, music. Or you can bring about healing through making someone feel beautiful or realize, acknowledge, see their own beauty through cosmetology, for example. Right? So there's many different ways in which you can fulfill a single calling or a life purpose. And I also am of the belief that your life purpose can change over time. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe recently you felt a new calling or you felt like it was time to move in a different direction. So for a while now, you've kind of been looking for signs, trying to figure out in what direction you're being guided to move. And it seems like you're starting to gain that clarity. Oh, also, what I heard is you are or soon you will be receiving confirmation that you are currently on the right path, that you are heading in the right direction. Maybe through this reading or through some other means or form. Okay, but I will be revealing the message that is on the back of this card near the end of your reading. First, I will be drawing out a tarot card, which will help us with the energy check-in. Once I have done so, I will set this deck aside and start drawing out cards from other different decks to start looking at what is unfolding in this area of life or how this area of life is unfolding for you. And once I have done that, I will go back to this first tarot deck to look at the card at the bottom of it, because that card will give us info about what is next in this area of life. Okay, so first, the energy check-in. And that loud sound was an airplane gliding overhead. Aw, my setup. Okay, sorry. Ooh, okay, those are not too many cards. I'm going to try again. The cards are kind of sticking together. Let me shuffle a little bit more. Oh, okay, and there we have our card. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is the 10th major arcana of the deck, and it can indicate the ending of a cycle, but it can also indicate the beginning, the start of a new cycle. The Wheel of Fortune also makes me think of a turning point, which is something I was talking about with group 2. So maybe you were also drawn to group 2, but it seems like for you guys, your current energy is you actually experiencing this turning point, you experiencing a positive turn of events. The Wheel of Fortune is also a card that hints at destiny, at something fated, or at divine orchestration, divine alignment. So I was talking about a life purpose, a calling, so I wonder if those messages did resonate with you, because with the Wheel of Fortune, I do sense that a lot of you could be currently feeling called to something. You may feel like you are being divinely guided, or that something is being divinely guided to you. Like things are working themselves out or kind of aligning in this beautiful, magical way to connect you with a career, a line of work, a profession, or a project or an endeavor that will resonate deeply with you, or that will allow for you to fulfill a life's purpose or to start some kind of life's mission. Or if not that, this could be more so about you aligning with a career, a profession, a line of work, maybe a partnership, like a business, creative partnership that will resonate deeply with you or just align with you. Be in a way like your perfect match. And I'm recalling how sea turtles ride ocean currents. That's how they migrate. They rely on these currents to help them navigate through the ocean to get from point A to point B. So it seems like right now you are being divinely guided, or you are surrendering to the unfoldment of things. You are entrusting yourself to the universe and letting yourself be guided, letting yourself be propelled forward or nudged in the direction that you need to go in. But with the Wheel of Fortune, you could have recently experienced an ending, or maybe you are currently experiencing an ending, or you are going through a bit of a transitional phase. And if you are, I cannot speak for you, right? This is just based on what I'm picking up here. So only take that which resonates, leave what does not. But what I'm sensing is, even though you might have or you are experiencing an ending, you're feeling pretty relaxed about it all, because either you knew this had to come to an end, or you knew you were bound to experience this ending sooner or later. Maybe you knew that you were meant to experience this ending at this time in your life. And so instead of feeling worried, you're feeling pretty reassured because things are unfolding how you expected them to, or you're feeling the sense of everything being on time. Like, yes, this was meant to happen now, and it happens. So this lets me know that everything is in order, right? I'm right on time, or everything else is right on time, right on schedule. But for others of you, this could be a situation where you have this feeling, this inner knowing that if this ending happened, it's for a reason. And the reason is that either something better is in store for you, or that it's time for you to move on to the next thing. It's time for you to evolve, or it's time for you to grow. And the only way to do that is for you to move on, for this to have come to an end, because maybe whatever came to an end or whatever you are transitioning out of was something that was stifling your growth, or was something that couldn't grow with you, couldn't evolve with you. But the Wheel of Fortune lets me know that right now things are shifting. Things are shifting in this area of your life. So if you have been experiencing lows, the Wheel of Fortune is turning around for you. So things are starting to, or very soon they will start to look up. Yeah, so your luck might also be changing. If recently you have felt a bit unlucky, or that's how you were perceiving it, you experiencing unlucky situations, or maybe things just not going in your favor, you not receiving a lot of opportunities, or things kind of ending too soon is also what is coming through, or just not getting off of the ground. Like maybe there's something you have been trying for the longest time to get off of the ground, but you haven't been able to do so, or maybe you have experienced a lot of false starts with it, where it seems like it's getting off the ground, but then it goes nowhere, it kind of plops back down. I feel like this is all changing for you pretty soon. Again, because the Wheel of Fortune has this destiny, fate aspect to it, this may have something to do with maybe divine intervention or divine timing. Maybe at the time that you wanted to get this off of the ground, wasn't the right time for it to get off of the ground, because maybe if it did, it would have ended too soon, or it wouldn't have been able to reach its full potential, or something along those lines. And so the divine you, universe knew, maybe even your higher self knew. And that's why it pushed it back. It like pushed back the date in which it would end up getting off of the ground. And now you're getting closer and closer to it being the right time, or maybe the right energy or the right setting. And so instead of you feeling like things not being in your favor, soon what you will be experiencing is the complete opposite. But let me pull out the rest of the cards, and I always forget to place this deck here to the side so that you can see it. Okay, and we have manifestation. Wow, okay, yeah. So if you have been trying either to get something off of the ground or manifest something into your life, if you have been trying to manifest an opportunity, or if your wish, right, your dream, your hope is for you to experience betterment, improvement in this area of life, for you to maybe experience some kind of breakthrough or some momentum, then that's exactly what I see in the works. Like, this is currently in the works. You are currently manifesting an opportunity, or you are manifesting opportunities, blessings, possibly even abundance into your life. Yeah, and with the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like now it's the time for your manifestations to come in. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. I heard the airplane gliding overhead, and I thought of the song that goes, "Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, a wish right now, a wish right now." So that song could be of significance, but it also makes me think of someone who is kind of holding on to whatever they can to keep afloat, or to keep dreaming, to keep hoping, to keep the faith. And so that could have been you for a while. And it seems like soon you won't have to hold on this tight. I heard universe will make it easier for you, or things will start feeling and being a lot easier for you, especially in this area of life. Okay, and we have the Ace of Diamonds with number 9, the birds. So the Ace of Diamonds reminds me of the Ace of Pentacles in traditional tarot. I know this deck has nothing to do with the traditional tarot. That's just how I've learned to interpret it. But the Ace of Pentacles in traditional tarot speaks of new beginnings, especially beginnings in the area of finances, job, career. So yeah, if you have been experiencing unemployment for a while now, or you have been seeking employment for quite some time now, but no luck, then your luck is about to change, because the Ace of Pentacles indicates a new job, or a job opportunity, a job offer, or an opening in this area of life. So you either will be reached out with a job offer, or if you have currently applied somewhere, or you're waiting to hear back from potential employers, you will be receiving good news and be notified that you got the job, or that you proceed on to the next level. Right? So maybe some of you are currently going through a probation period, and if you've been hoping to get an offer for a part-time or a full-time position, this set of cards lets me know that you're getting it. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. But the Ace of Pentacles also indicates a new start in this area of life, right? So it seems like you're getting or receiving a fresh start, or experiencing a new beginning, or experiencing a new era in this area of life, a new cycle. Let's see. Okay, it's taking a while. Oh, there we have it. Okay, 2 cards fell out, so I'm going to take them. We have Gemini with intellect, social wittiness, humor, adaptability, conversation, duality, as well as anxious, unserious, gossipy, and restlessness. So the zodiac sign Gemini could be of significance, or Gemini season could be of importance. And we also have Black Moon Lilith with our untamed sexual energy, rebelling against the norm, and liberation. So the word liberation is really standing out to me because I feel like currently you are being liberated, or you are liberating yourself from a difficult cycle, from a hard time. Or, if you recently have experienced an ending, maybe if you have recently been let go of a job, or if you recently decided to quit a job, maybe spontaneously, maybe after having considered quitting this job for a while, then you have liberated yourself from a situation, a place, or environment or circumstance that was in a way holding you back or restricting you, not allowing for you to grow and or to evolve. With Gemini, I am sensing that a lot of you seek intellectual stimulation. You are someone who is very curious, very creative, or quite social. I pointed at the sea turtle because I was reminded of, I completely forgot his name. I had to look him up. The character Crush from the Disney Pixar movie Finding Nemo, which if you haven't watched it, I do recommend it. It's a very fun and I will say unforgettable movie. But Crush is a very social, very communicative as well, and quite relaxed, very at peace with who they are, very sure of themselves. And so if you have experience, or if you have struggled with insecurity, self-doubt, low self-esteem, or inner doubt, it seems like things are changing. You are entering an era in which you're feeling more sure of yourself. And as mentioned before, you are coming into alignment with career opportunities or projects or a profession that aligns with you, that matches your vibe, or that will allow for you to express yourself, to be more like yourself, or just feel more confident and more relaxed in being yourself. And maybe working with your skills, maybe working with your innate abilities. Yeah, because we have this Black Moon Lilith. So a lot of you could be deciding to pursue a profession or line of work, or maybe that's what's next for you, or that's what's currently in the work. You taking on a project or pursuing a profession that is a little unorthodox, unconventional, or that is very, very different from what you were pursuing in the past. Yeah, because Gemini also makes me think of duality. Gemini is associated with the twins. So there could be this contrast, sort of similar to group 2, where it was very clear that there was a before and an after in this area of life. Right? A before the turning point and an after the turning point. And so that could be the case for you guys as well. The contrast will be very apparent, will be very clear. So I wonder if this is a situation where you're going from working a corporate job or working a 9 to 5 to being self-employed, or becoming a freelancer, a contractor, or it could be the opposite. Did you hear that? My wrist cracked. I'm crack-a-lacking. But with manifestation, a lot of you could end up pursuing something that is like a dream to you, maybe something that you have been envisioning yourself pursuing, or you will end up working somewhere that you have envisioned yourself working in. Because there's this feeling of you following your dreams, you deciding maybe to break the status quo, or kind of jump out of the rat race or the conveyor belt to pursue your dreams, or to just do things your way. But let me pull out the last card belonging to this set. But, Black Moon Lilith also makes me think of someone who has learned to stand up for themselves, someone who has learned to use their voice to advocate for themselves, who has learned about boundaries and how to assert them. So if, again, in the past you lacked boundaries or you had trouble speaking up for yourself or speaking up, then that's something that is changing, right? Or if you have recently learned to assert your boundaries and you started doing so, then that has caused a major shift in this area of your life, because now what you are attracting is something, I heard something of high caliber, like an employer that is respectful of their employees or will be respectful of you, or better work conditions, or a better salary, right? Anything that in the past you felt was lacking or that you had trouble asking, advocating, or even fighting for, right? Because with Gemini, I'm seeing you being better able to communicate your needs and are being better able to communicate your desires. Yeah, so maybe in the past you had trouble communicating to others what you wanted, or you were still building up the courage to acknowledge what it is that you did want and voice it and maybe move towards it or claim it. But now you're finding it easier to do so, right? And if recently you claimed something for yourself, like maybe this isn't about telling others what you want, but more so about just you acknowledging, this is what I want, or this is what I deserve. This is what I want to experience. Like, I am not exactly 100% happy with this situation, and I do not want to settle for it. I want more, or I want to experience something different. I deserve to experience something different. If you use those kind of affirmations and you asserted what you wanted, what you desired, then that might also have been what completely broke a spell, like ended an enchantment, or turned this wheel of fortune in your favor, like broken a cycle of settling for less than, or forcing yourself to be complacent, or keeping silent, dimming your light. That's what is ending for you. That's what, through you asserting yourself, what you brought an end to, or what you moved away from, kind of grew out of. I keep imagining in my mind someone forcing themselves into a pair of jeans that is 2 sizes too small, or that does nothing for their silhouette, but they're forcing them inside these jeans because someone else gifted it to them, or it's what is the norm, the trend, is what everybody is wearing. And so to please others, to not hurt anybody's feelings, or to not stand out from the crowd, to fit in with the crowd, they force themselves into this uncomfortable situation day in and day out, right? And so that's the before. That's what I feel was before the turning point. And what comes after this turning point is deciding enough is enough. I am not going to wear those pair of jeans. I'm going to be honest. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be mean, rude with the person who gifted me these jeans. I'm just going to be honest about the fact that they're 2 sizes too small. And if I wear them, I'm just going to cut my blood circulation, and that's not good. Or simply choosing to not follow along with what everybody else is doing simply because everybody else is doing it, but instead choosing autonomy, choosing authenticity. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm seeing being next for you, or that's kind of what you're stepping into, right? But those were just examples. And this could apply in this area of life because this could be pertaining to a career. Maybe you were pursuing a career or a dream that you didn't really care much for. And the only reason you were pursuing it is because that's what everybody else encouraged you to pursue, or that's what a lot of your peers were pursuing or were doing, or that's what you thought you needed to pursue, right? Or you're no longer putting up with terrible work conditions. You're no longer putting up with mistreatment. You're standing up for yourself. You're being honest about your needs, possibly. But let me draw out the last card. But a lot of you could be experiencing some kind of opportunity in the area of communication. Like maybe your next line of work will have to do with communications. Maybe it would involve you speaking a lot, or you writing a lot, or you researching a lot. It may also involve a social media platform. Doesn't have to be the case for a lot of you, but with Teresa Crowd, I am seeing a community, like the spiritual community, the tarot reading community, the book talk, booktube community, the beauty community, those type of communities. So you could end up being a part of that, or end up pursuing a career in one of, or professions in one of those communities. But we have Three's a Crowd with the number 66, the words trios and community, and the message: there are 3 or more energies to potentially work with or harness, 2 of which are not your own. Their energies could want more from you in some way. Or just 1 or 2 of them could be a secret energy not yet brought to the forefront. On the other hand, a situation where there is a crowd and excitement may just be beneficial for you. If you are in the social media community, and if recently you haven't been getting a lot of attention, like your channel, your page hasn't been getting a lot of attention, Three's a Crowd makes me think of you drawing in a crowd, right? You drawing in an audience, maybe you coming into alignment with your target audience, with your community. You could start, or maybe you currently are starting to build a wonderful, beautiful community that resonates with you, that is actually eager to see your content, or is eager to connect with you, or just or resonates with your content, with you, with what you're all about. But Three's a Crowd also makes me think of peers, of a team. So if you have been wanting to find a workplace with colleagues that you can get along with, that you can meet eye to eye with, that you can work amicably with, that's what you are attracting. That's what you are manifesting, especially because we have Gemini here. So if you have been wanting to align with colleagues or peers that have excellent communication, or that are pretty straightforward, they don't beat around the bush, that's exactly what you are attracting or manifesting. But trio also makes me think of literally a trio. Maybe some of you are grouping up with others, like-minded people, or you will be starting something with a group. All of a sudden, I thought of a podcast. Maybe some of you are starting a podcast, or it could be a channel. But if you have been wanting like support in this area of your life, if you have been wanting someone who is maybe willing to take some leap of faith with you in regards to this area of life, like start a company, start an endeavor, then it seems like universe is currently bringing you and this person or these people together. Yeah, you're also connecting with peers. So if you've been wanting an opportunity to connect with peers, connect with people who, are on the same path as you, who are in the same profession as you, as in the same line of work, then you're manifesting that opportunity. You're attracting these people, and it will be people that you will get along with, or who you will receive a lot of valuable insight from. Yeah, because some of you could already be pursuing something that is very niche. So I always give examples related to the YouTube community. I apologize for that. It comes the easiest to me, but the example that is coming to mind is like someone who offers tarot readings on YouTube, right? Not everybody does that. I wouldn't say it's a very niche community. I feel like it's become a little saturated over the years, but finding someone who also has a tarot reading channel on YouTube may be somewhat rare, right? Especially finding this person in your day-to-day, like when you're out shopping or running errands. Yeah, and because we have community here, some of you may be finding this person in a community that you are already involved in. Maybe someone in your neighborhood or in an online community, you will get the opportunity to connect with peers and establish beautiful friendships with them, if not like a business with them. Because the other thing I'm seeing is a possibility of you ending up working with them, maybe working on a project with them if it's not starting a full-blown business with them. But I want to look at the card at the bottom of the deck, and we have the Page of Swords. And then at the bottom of the Page of Swords is the Tower card, which the Tower card can speak of major life changes, right? The Tower card is a turning point card. So that this only confirms that you are experiencing a major turning point in this area of life. But with the Page of Swords, this card, I believe, is also associated with Gemini. But the Page of Swords in general is associated with air signs, so Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And this page often represents communication, gossip, curiosity, information, research, and intellect. So immediately what I thought was you're trusting in your intuition, you're following your inner guidance, and you are experiencing a start, because pages, being the youngest in the court, often represent a beginning or a fresh start. Pages also represent a novice, a student, an apprentice. So yeah, if you've been looking for a job, you will be starting somewhere new. The Page of Swords makes me think of like your first day at work. And the Page of Swords also makes me think of an apprentice. So this could be you during a probation period. This could be you during your training period. The Page of Swords also makes me think of you brushing up on your skills, or you honing a skill, maybe a craft. You also researching or getting informed about some new endeavor you're taking on, or about maybe your new workplace or anything that is related or associated with your new job position, your new role at a new workplace. Or what I'm seeing is, I didn't get this before, but if you have been seeking a promotion, you're getting it. If that's what you've been manifesting. If you haven't been manifesting a new job, but what you've been manifesting is a new job position, a promotion, that's exactly what you're getting. But it seems like with this promotion, this ascension, you are being delegated new responsibilities that you will have to learn, get familiarized with. You might need to put a little bit more effort into knowing how to handle them. But the Page of Swords shows great potential. I do want to pull out a clarifier. Because the Page of Swords is quite the communicator, what is next is you delving into communication, or you like honing your communication skill, maybe developing a communication style. Again, I'm seeing like maybe a lot of talking, a lot of writing or researching, maybe even reading. I thought of an editorial. Maybe some of you are getting a job at an editorial or a publishing company. Let me draw out a clarifier. I heard you're learning the craft. So The Page of Swords also makes me think of someone who is an intern or someone who maybe is getting a part-time position somewhere, but while they're interning, or while they are an intern, while they are working this part-time position, they are learning the ins and outs of an industry or of a company. They are like sharpening their own skills. They are kind of preparing themselves to take on a higher position, or they are gathering as much information, learning as much as they can to then be able to start something of their own. And we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is associated with the zodiac sign Pisces. Pisces season could be of significance. And the Hanged Man can speak of surrender. So again, this makes me think of you surrendering to the unfoldment of things, you surrendering to divine guidance, or you surrendering to your inner guidance by following it, not questioning it as much, or letting yourself be guided by inspired action, inner nudges, feelings, intuitive feelings. But the Hanged Man can also speak of a pause. It can also indicate a need to release or a letting go. So something may be placed on hold, on momentary hold. This is kind of similar to what I mentioned in group 1, which is that you could be for some time training, and while you're training, things in this area of life might be placed on a temporary hold, or while you are preparing, things will be placed on a temporary hold. So, now this completely changes things because with three's a crowd, community, it made me think of a community college. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're currently students or you're taking classes on the side, but you're also working, either what is next for you is you deciding to suspend certain classes, maybe take a break from school in order to focus on your career, in order to work full time, right? Or maybe to start some kind of training at a workplace, because I do see some of you being offered training at a workplace. Or the other situation I'm seeing is maybe what you don't see coming is you deciding to take a break from working to resume the pursuit of your higher education, or to finish school, get a degree, or start taking classes to obtain some kind of certification. And that could be what is like the turning point, you making this decision, or you being presented with the opportunity to go back to school, to resume your education, or to pursue a career full time. But there's this sense or feeling of unexpectedness, right? Maybe again you saw it coming, but you didn't really know when you would need to make this decision, or when you will be presented with an opportunity for you to then decide, yeah, do I resume my education? Do I go back to school? Or do I take a break from that, take a break from work, whatever it may be? Or be presented an opportunity to hone a skill, right? To get some kind of training, to receive a license or a certification that will, in the long run, help you out in this area of life, will be of great benefit to you in this area of life, because then you can put that in your resume, or you can start applying for jobs that do require that license or certification. With manifestation, I do sense you manifesting a blessing or opportunity into your life. Whatever you have been wanting, you're getting it. But then you might need to decide whether you want to keep pursuing this, or set it aside. Or maybe what you are manifesting is what is giving you this opportunity to make this sort of decision of whether you pursue something full time, right? Either your studies, a training, or work. Or if it's not a decision between school and work, it could be a decision between two jobs. Maybe saying yes to a job will require for you to say no to another job or to quit another job. Yeah, looking at the Page of Swords, it sort of seems like they are considering, do I keep this sword or do I leave it? Right? So something about your manifestation will bring about a major decision in this area of life, or it will call you to make a decision, to maybe surrender something, right? And then it will be up to you what you decide. But remember everything that came through before about you asserting your boundaries, you speaking up for yourself, right? So just because an opportunity or an offer presents itself to you doesn't mean that you have to say yes to it or take it. You get to decide if you want it or not. You get to decide if it's for you or not. Let me draw one more card. See what happens next. Those are too many cards. What happens next? So we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so if you end up training or going through a probation period, things might be going a little bit slow when you are going through this training or in this probation period, but things will pick up right after it. And so if during this training or probation period you find yourself wondering or questioning whether you will get an offer, like a full-time position, whether you will receive an approval of sorts, the King of Wands is confirming that you will be receiving that offer. But the King of Wands, is very independent. They're a leader, they're not a follower. And so, after a probation or training period, you will be given an offer to stay at that workplace full time or for a set period of time. But whether you do stay or not, I can't say for certain, because with the King of Wands, it will all depend on you, right? So if you do end up loving this period while you're training or while you are on probation, then I definitely see you saying yes to the offer you are given and doing quite well at this workplace, excelling at it, excelling in it, and actually reaching like a position of authority, like getting promoted, for example. But if you don't enjoy your time here while you're training, you might end up saying no. Regardless of what you choose, I still see you ending up somewhere where you are doing quite well. Because, for example, if you say no to this because you don't feel this is what is right for you, then that's you following your inner guidance, and that's you being divinely guided to what is for you. And so you will eventually end up somewhere that will work perfectly for you. Yeah, and so just know that you don't have to make a decision right away. You can choose to wait after a set period of time, maybe after you go through your training period or a probation period, especially if you find yourself needing to choose between this job, let's say, and another job. But if you're wondering whether you will succeed through a training period, you will. If you're wondering whether you will get an opportunity to work and start getting paid for your work, you will. For others of you, if you decide to go back to school, I do see you finishing your classes, your courses, and getting your degree or your certification, your license, or diploma. And as mentioned before, I do see you kind of collecting data and absorbing information throughout a training period, and then utilizing that information later on in your life, in your career. Some of you could even be utilizing whatever you're currently learning via a class, a course, a seminar, or a job to start something of your own, because the King of Wands tends to be someone who is self-employed, someone who is an entrepreneur. So yeah, if that's something that you foresee for yourself, then I do see that happening for you at some later point in your future. But if currently you are interested in delving into social media or like building a community, attracting an audience, I do see that happening for you as well. There could be a little bit of a learning curve, is what I heard. So maybe the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man is representing the time in which you're getting familiarized with a social media platform, or you're learning more about your style, you're starting to connect with and kind of learn more about your community, your target audience. But once you have, gone through that introduction phase, things will be picking up for you. The King of Wands is a leader, especially in a creative industry or field. But I do see a bit of a pause, like a bit of maybe you experiencing a waiting period before things really kick off for you. I wonder if first you're getting some instructions or someone is providing you with valuable advice that then you will be implementing. And once you do, or after you do, that's when things really start kicking off for you. Because I feel like right now things are aligning. And with the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man, because I was talking about networking, maybe there will be some networking, or you will end up reaching out to someone, or you might be needing to wait a little bit before you receive a response, or you hear back from someone you reached out to for an opportunity. But they will be reaching out to you. And once they do, things will kick off pretty quickly from there. Like things will start moving pretty quickly. But I want to read the message that is on the back of the card that you were drawn to. So we have Sea Turtle with Serenity, and the message, wherever Sea Turtle goes, she is already home. She is in no rush to move forward or backward, up or down, or side to side. Every journey results in the same destination, herself. Her travels demonstrate the supreme importance of finding inner peace. Serenity is achievable at any moment. When Sea Turtle is present, she reminds us that everything we need is within us. Security, solid grounding, and support are only as far away as we allow them to be. In the end, it is flexibility of spirit that brings us home. Interesting, because this talks about trust. It's sort of like what you are learning, the lesson you are learning in this area of life is trust and patience. And so if at some point you start getting a little bit impatient, then something might come up in this area of life that will require for you to be patient. And maybe that's why the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man showed up. Because I was sensing acceleration. I was sensing things just moving in a new direction, momentum picking up. But then the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man caught me off guard. So these two cards are asking you to trust in yourself. I know a lot of people might have already clicked out because that's not a message you might want to hear, but they are advising you to trust in yourself and trust in the unfoldment of things and not get too hasty or not feel this desire to rush, especially if you don't feel inspired to do so, right? Especially if you're simply rushing out of a fear of missing out or not getting it right or out of mistrust. In those situations, you're being advised to slow down instead and maybe consider going within, listening to your inner guidance. And if something is halted, right, if all of a sudden things start slowing down, that could be your indicator that you are being given time to really sit with yourself, self-reflect, introspect, or go within. Maybe even time to analyze a situation or time for you to really consider your options. It's time given to you, not time taken away from you. Because I do see you being presented with options. That is what is next. You being presented with option or some kind of decision that you will be called to make. And trusting in yourself, deciding to make a decision that you have come to, you yourself have come to, will guide you in the right direction, or will have you feeling good about your decision. Because I feel like the King of Wands is representing you. So that will ultimately be your energy, the energy you will be embodying, that of a leader, someone who is self-assured or quite confident. Yeah, and also I feel like some of you are being advised to not jump to conclusions. Let things unfold, because you might end up assuming something that isn't, something that is frightening you or making you act hasty. And so if you ever end up being in that kind of situation or feeling that way, remind yourself, oh, okay, this is my sign to slow down, to let things unfold, because there are right now missing information or there is a lack of clarity. So if I just slow down and let things unfold, that missing information will come to light. I will gain better clarity and things will start making better sense. And so I won't end up making a decision or taking action that is simply and solely based on assumptions or speculation, but rather on actual and factual information and evidence. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out before I end your reading. We have the bunny. Bunnies, sea turtles could be of significance. The movie Finding Nemo, the character Crush, the sea, the ocean. Also birds could be of significance. Finches is what I heard. The number 3, the number 6 or 66 or repeated sixes could be of significance. Also the 3rd month, the 6th month, and the 9th month of the year could be of significance as well. And I'm seeing the zodiac sign Pisces, fire signs, and air signs. So fire signs will be Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Air signs will be Libra, Aquarius, and again, Gemini. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Salamander, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, I felt a tingling sensation on the crown of my head, which made me think of the crown chakra, which is the energy center that connects us with higher consciousness. When this energy center is balanced, we experience unity, peace, a connection to all that is, to the universe, and calm. Because when this energy center is balanced, usually our nervous system is also quite balanced and or healthy. But when this energy center is blocked or out of balance, then we can experience fear, confusion. We may also have problems remembering or memorizing or learning new things. And I take the time to mention this because apart from this tingling sensation, nothing else came through. No other messages or downloads. So I wonder if currently you feel a little blocked mentally or confused, or if you do have trouble focusing at times or even connecting with your work, or if you find yourself spacing out most of the time. Because if so, your crown chakra may be a bit imbalanced at this moment, and you're being called to start working on balancing out your crown chakra. Now, I personally don't know much about how to balance out or heal or open each energy center, but what is coming through in specific for this group is the word trust. I feel that if your crown chakra is imbalanced, it may be due to a lack of self-trust. So you are being called to trust in yourself or to start working on self-trust. But I'm going to get right on to the rest of the card. So the first card I will draw out will help with the energy check-in, Once I have drawn out that card, I will start drawing out cards from other different decks to get a look at what is currently unfolding in this area of life. Once I have done that, I will go back to this deck to look at the card at the bottom of it, because that card will give us information about what is next in this area of life, a closer look to what is next. And by the way, there is a message on the back of the card that you were drawn to, and I will reveal it to you near the end of your reading. Okay, so let us start with the energy check-in. Energy check-in for group 4, the Salamander. I all of a sudden thought of the character Newt Scamander from the series Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So I wonder if that character is of significance. There's a line in Fantastic Beasts Where to Find Them, delivered by the character Newt, which stuck with me after I heard it, which goes, "My philosophy is that worrying means you suffer twice." So you might agree with Newt's philosophy. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups for the current energy. The Eight of Cups can indicate a walking away or moving on from something that is no longer fulfilling, right? Maybe because you have outgrown it, or it no longer resonates with you, or you no longer feel emotionally invested in it. The Eight of Cups can also show up when someone has reached their limit. They realize that they can no longer remain in a situation that is no good for them, that depletes them of their energy, or is simply unhealthy and or unhelpful is also what is coming through. So you might have recently decided to walk away, or more specifically, quit a job or pursue a new career path. We do have a path here. Some of you might currently be on the search for a profession, for a line of work that is exciting to you, that is fulfilling, or does spark interest, curiosity, or passion in you. The Eight of Cups can also indicate disappointment. So some of you might have recently experienced a disappointment in this area of life, maybe a job or career path that you were really looking forward to, had high expectations for, didn't turn out to be what you imagined it to be, right? I do sense that some of you could have experienced something along the lines of you had a picture, you had an image in your mind of what something would be like, or of how something would unfold or turn out. And then once you started living and experiencing the real thing, that's when you realize, oh, it's nothing like how I imagined, or it's nothing like how it was described to me, right? And that could have led to some disappointment, possibly. And maybe for some, a realization that this isn't the career path for you, or the line of work, or maybe even dream that you would want to keep pursuing. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. So we have transformation. Yeah, I feel like right now a lot of you are going through, or you are in the search of what aligns with you. I heard what works for you, or maybe a career path that you can excel in, a career path that you can blossom in, because we do have this transformation card. But right now, you may literally be going through a transformation in this area of life. I feel like you yourself might be going through a transformation, but this area of life could be transforming in a way that it is evolving, right? So maybe you have closed a chapter and right now you're beginning a new chapter in this area of life. Or as mentioned before, maybe it is the case that you did outgrow a previous job, line of work, profession, and now you're ready for the next thing. Now you're ready for something that maybe does challenge you in a way that allows for you to grow, not discourages you and brings you down, but instead asks of you to utilize your skills, your intellect, your imagination to overcome the challenges and in the process grow as a professional or a creative, as an artist if you are an artist, or just grow as an individual. Yeah, I feel when I started this reading, I noticed I was pretty calm, like as if I didn't have a lot of energy, or I was just pretty mellow. And I wonder if that has something to do with a lack of passion. Maybe some of you have felt like you've lost your spark or passion for something or in this area of life, and you're kind of seeking that, or you're missing that, you're longing for that again. Like, what can rekindle that fire within? But I do feel like for a lot of you, what you are experiencing is evolution. You may also be ready to simply expand or grow your skill set, like take on something new that requires for you to learn new skills. Yeah, because these cups make me think of like a collection, make me think of trophies, and it's as if this person is collecting these cups and they're missing one cup. And so they're going off to find this other cup, right? To grow their collection. So this could be about growing your skill set. And now I wonder if my attention was drawn to the crown of my head because I was being pointed to the mind, right? The intellect, the brain, to let me know that you are someone who is very intellectual or who needs, not just craves, but needs intellectual stimulation. I wonder if you have a Gemini placement in your main three, in your sun, moon, or rising sign, or in your third house, or in your fifth house possibly, or just a very prominent, important Gemini placement in your natal chart. I'm getting Gemini, Libra, Pisces. Also Cancer. Yeah. You need something that challenges you. Okay, so 2 cards fell out. We have introverted, calm, introspective, with the message, an energy of quiet stillness may come your way. It is needed. Spend time in with number 47. And the card, your time, alone time, solo excursions, 40 with the number 40 with the message, don't feel like you can't have time for yourself. You are independent and that is what makes you so beautiful. Take time away only for yourself. You deserve to do what you want when you want. Interesting how the expression solo journey came through, because that's exactly what this person in the 8 of Cups seems like they're about to head on, a solo journey, a solo adventure or excursion. So, right now what you may be craving is some me time, some alone time. Maybe you do want to kind of clear your mind, clear your head. Maybe you have been overstimulated or you have become overwhelmed. And what you want now is to dedicate time to either regulate your nervous system, unwind, and regain your inner peace, right? So because we have this energy of transformation, some of you right now may be taking the time to either go on some kind of soul-searching journey or just take the time for yourself to get clear about what you want to do next. And honestly, with introverted in your time, you may just be wanting time to relax. Maybe right now you don't want to figure out what the next step is. You just want to give yourself some time to be. And it's interesting how I mentioned that I was feeling very mellow and somewhat calm, because then we have this introverted card with calm and introspective. Yeah, so you might just be wanting to take it slow, and you might right now be introspective. And that might be the reason why you might find yourself spacing out from time to time, if that did resonate with you, right? The spacing out or daydreaming quite a bit. Because you are figuring something out, right? Even if you might not be doing it actively and intentionally of like sitting down with yourself and trying to figure out what the next step is, your inner being might be just doing that naturally. Like releasing the old and resetting. Because that's the feeling I also get here, like of a reset. But let me pull out the rest of the cards. I wonder if some of you decided to take some time off from work. We have the 5 of spades with number 6, the coffin. Because you did need some time for yourself. The 5 of spades reminds me of the 5 of swords in traditional tarot, which can indicate also a walking away, but walking away from conflict. The 5 of swords can also indicate change. Sometimes it can indicate surrender. Other times it can represent someone fighting back. So I feel like what is happening right now is you're fighting for yourself. You're doing what is needed to take care of you. You are doing what you feel you need to give your mind, your brain, some reprieve. This is a time of healing for you, I feel. And with transformation, I'm being reminded of what happens to the caterpillar as it's transforming into a butterfly, right? It spends some time in the chrysalis. It cocoons itself, protecting itself from the outside world to be able to go through this drastic transformation. That's kind of what I feel here. You being in the chrysalis, right? You giving yourself the space and the time to go through this transformation, to shed old layers, to maybe get reacquainted with yourself or just find clarity. Feel through things that maybe you have been repressing for the longest time. Untangle the knots that have been building in your mind, if there have been any. You're allowing yourself some fresh air, to breathe fresh air at your pace and rhythm. The coffin here is reminding me of the 4 of swords in traditional tarot, which is a card that speaks of rest and recovery. The coffin also makes me think of ending. So if it's not in this area of life, you might have experienced an ending in a different area of life, which resulted in you needing time off, some time for yourself, some time to recover from this ending. But yeah, I'm getting a bit of like a hermit energy with these cards. Some of you may have decided to go on hiatus to, again, it could just be to rest, to recover, to take some time off, take some time for yourself. But it could also be to yes, introspect and consider whether you do want to continue on the path that you are currently on, or if you want to continue on as you have, right? With the same approaches, the same tendencies, the same mindset, or if there is anything or something that you want to change or that needs to change, right? If there is anything that you are ready and are wanting and are needing to let go of, to move on from, right? So I feel I know I have to yet reveal the card for what is next, but based on this energy, I feel like what is next for a lot of you is a comeback. It's the you who has come out of this period of introspection, the you that has come back from this solo journey or self-discovery journey, or from your hiatus, from your break, with an answer or with clarity or with a decision, right? Or even an announcement. Yeah, so I don't feel like right now you're in the mood or even the mindset to be hustling, nor do I feel like you are being recommended to be hustling right now. I feel like if you're taking some time for you, that's exactly what you might be needing to do, because that's exactly what you are needing right now. Some time for yourself. Or maybe just to slow down. We have conjunction with strongest aspects in a chart, combustion of two energies, two planet signs merging together. Conjunction made me think of two areas of life kind of affecting each other, right? So as mentioned before, it could be that you have experienced an ending in another area of life that really took a toll on you. And this ending had you slowing down or taking it slow or taking a break from this area of life, maybe reconsidering your options in this area of life or how you've been approaching this area of life. Or this could be a situation where this area of life is playing a major role in your personal growth journey or in your spiritual journey or in your self-development journey, right? Which would be another area of life, right? Maybe in the past you strongly identified with your work to the point where it became your whole identity, or you became very dependent on it to feel alive or to feel useful or to maybe distract yourself from other things that were happening in your life or not happening. And at some point you realized or you were awakened to this dependency, to this dynamic that you had with this area of life, and realized that maybe it wasn't healthy, or that you having this kind of relationship with this area of life wasn't serving your mental health, or was taking a toll on your mental health or your mental well-being, or it was affecting the way that you viewed yourself, the way that you perceived yourself, right? Questions such as, who am I outside of work, could have arose. And those could have been the same questions that led you to this kind of self-discovery journey, right? Or to the conclusion that maybe you needed to distance yourself a little bit from work, right? Slow down a little bit, take a break to then be able to answer that question or reconnect with yourself, right? Or some of you could be, how it's coming through is utilizing this area of life to find out more about yourself, to get to know yourself better. So this could be a situation where you're seeking what career path aligns with you, because through you finding or figuring that out, you will get more insight on the person that you are, right? Like, what lights you up? What is it that you are passionate about? Maybe this is about you learning what you're skillful at. Like, what are your skills? What are your strengths in terms to skills, right? Or maybe what are you afraid of? What are you intimidated by? And maybe you can learn that through you taking note of what professions or what is it of a profession that scares you, Because maybe there are certain things that you are drawn to, certain professions, certain line of work, certain projects, but then you find out something about that profession that is a part of it, a crucial part of it, that ends up deterring you from pursuing it. And you never really took the time to sit with yourself and ask, well, why did it deter me? Like, why did it dissuade me from pursuing that profession? What is it about that aspect of the profession that I didn't like? Why didn't I like it? Is it that I didn't like it, or is it that it scared me? And if it scared me, why? Right? So an example that comes to mind is someone wants to start a YouTube channel. And the whole idea of starting a YouTube channel really excites them because they get to create their own content, and maybe they're really into making videos, editing videos, and so forth. But once they start thinking about sharing their content with maybe strangers online or with others, that's when they start kind of second guessing the whole starting a YouTube channel thing. Because maybe what scares them is being seen. What scares them is being perceived. What scares them is receiving feedback, is being criticized, is maybe being vulnerable in that way of like sharing something personal like a creation, right? And maybe right now you're wondering, why is that important? I feel like it is important because it feels like right now what you're going through is a period of understanding. Like there's a feeling of you cleansing, like releasing, letting go of the old, of baggage. Also taking the time to maybe recover, taking some time to just take a breath, especially if you have been on the go, or if things have been pretty chaotic in your life overall. But I also sense this aspect of you are giving yourself this time and are being given this time to understand why. I wonder if there's something in specific about this area of life that you've always wondered, that you always had some confusion about, a huge question mark on it. And if so, this is what you're getting an understanding about. This is what you're getting or taking the time to receive answers about. Like, for example, if you experience a lot of false starts in this area of life and you've always wondered, like, why that is, it seems like you're getting an understanding of that. And some of you may be discovering that like what you have experienced in this area of life may not have anything to do with you, right? And I feel like this will be especially true for those of you who tend to be very hard on yourselves, or who might often blame yourself for things that are out of your control, right? For others of you, you may be coming to the realization that maybe an insecurity, a fear, I heard an inherited or ingrained fear is what has been stopping you or kind of holding you back possibly, or had you pursuing things that maybe weren't challenging you, weren't allowing you to grow. And because I do feel like you are someone who craves stimulation, like healthy stimulation, right? Not something that overwhelms you with worry and distresses you, but I'm talking about something that allows you to enjoy utilizing your imagination, right? Allows you to work the machinations of your mind in a way that is exciting to you, in a way that is fulfilling to you. I even heard that allows you to work with your hands, to create something that you find beautiful, that you yourself can admire and feel proud of, that you created that. I am thinking of generational trauma, generational cycles, and I feel like right now some of you could be in the process of ending a generational cycle or bringing awareness to generational trauma and in a way healing it, right? And I don't want to make it seem like you are responsible for healing the trauma of the generations before you and the generations to come, because that's not how it's coming through. Like, your ancestors, let's say, they're not putting that load on you. Because what I'm sensing is through you just addressing what is weighing heavy on your shoulders, what is hurting within, you are healing those who came before you and those who will come after you. And through you deciding to just take some time for you, to take care of you, to fight for you, you are already doing a lot of healing. You are already breaking cycles, right? Because maybe those who came before you didn't have the chance to do this for themselves or weren't able to do this for themselves. And you doing this for you, it's changing things. It's giving a chance to the ones who will come after you to be able to do this for themselves as well. It's also kind of sending the message to those who came before you that they deserved a little time for themselves, that they deserved to be validated and to be heard for their pain, their fatigue, to be heard, to be seen. But let me look at the card at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Chariot, yeah. So the Chariot is associated with the zodiac sign Cancer, which is, I believe, a zodiac sign that I mentioned before. And yeah, I mentioned how I felt that what would be after for you in this area of life was a comeback, right? Was you coming back with a verdict, with a decision, with an announcement. And the Chariot card represents assertion, determination. It's also a card of success and a card that indicates overcoming challenges. So right now you are going through a challenging time, right? If you are feeling discouraged or experiencing confusion, or you don't know how it is that you want to move forward, if you want to continue moving forward with something, with the project, with a dream, then what is next is you having that clarity. And the Chariot is very determined, right? So the Chariot always makes me think of someone who has their eye on the prize or has their eye on a target and they're aiming for it, right? So with the Chariot, what is next is you being clear, like being very clear as to what you want to do, and more specifically what you want and how to move forward. I mean, it is the Chariot, right? It is a mode of transportation, something that you literally direct and that moves forward. So the Chariot also speaks of forward movement and momentum and acceleration. So if right now you feel a little stuck, or it's not that you feel stuck, maybe some of you do, but you are setting time aside to just get clear on how you want to move forward. And because of that, things are slowing down, right? Maybe you took a break, you're on a hiatus. The Chariot indicates that what is next is you experiencing forward movement in this area of life, right? So as soon as you gain that clarity, as soon as you know what it is that you want to do, you will take action. And I'm sensing like assertion, determination, as in someone is looking forward and they're not looking back, right? They're not second guessing themselves, they're not wavering. And I'm not sensing any fear from the Chariot, right? So if right now you're a little fearful, skeptical, maybe even cynical, or you're just confused, you're doubting, there's a lot going on in your mind at this moment. What is next is clarity, simple clarity. And the word simplified is coming to mind. It's like things were very confusing, very convoluted, very complex in the past. And then here with the Chariot, it's simple. It's like, oh, it's simple. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do, and that is that. Or this is where I want to go, and this is the route I'm going to take, and that is that. Simple, right? At least that's how it's coming through. It might not be that simple, but with the Chariot here, there is this feeling of not needing to overcomplicate things or not having overcomplicated thoughts. Yeah, because what I'm getting first and foremost is clarity. So with transformation, some of you might have literally slowed down in this area of life, or maybe you have been experiencing a lot of dead ends. Like you're trying one thing, but then you don't feel it, you're not feeling it, and so you stop, or you do try one thing, but it doesn't end up working out. And I feel it's because right now you are being advised to not rush. You are being advised to slow down because, again, only take that which resonates. But for some, it could be that recently or in the past, there was a lot of rushing. There was a lot of, okay, let's move on to the next project, the next thing, the next thing. And there wasn't enough time of slowing down to really consider and contemplate on whether either you were enjoying what you were doing or whether what you were doing was aligning with your core values, or whether you even wanted to continue doing what it is that you were doing, whether you were working in a safe environment, or whether you were getting compensated fairly for your work, whether you were taking some time to take care of you, to attend to your basic needs. I can go on and on, but the main point is there could have been a lot of being on the go, 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 speeding through life, or just maybe being on autopilot, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Going through the motions, that either your inner being, your higher self, because the crown chakra came through, or universe said, it could even be your psyche, your subconscious. It said, okay, whoa, group 4, it's time to slow down. Because either this isn't healthy anymore, or this way of living, this way of moving forward isn't doing you any favors, or it's been a while since you just stopped to smell the flowers. Sit down, rest, look around you, enjoy the scenery, listen to the beat of your own heart, catch your breath, enjoy a cup of tea, a cup of joe, or drink a nice glass of cool water. Hydrate yourself and remember yourself. That's what's coming through. Like, remember yourself. Listen to your inner being, because your inner being has been wanting to get in touch with you. Your inner being has been wanting to communicate with you. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you're currently experiencing challenges in this area of life with the Chariot, this lets me know that you will be overcoming these challenges. Whether they be physical, tangible challenges in this specific area of life, or just mental challenges, like mental blockages. It could even be insecurity, self-doubt, that sort of thing. You're overcoming it, right? The Chariot makes me think of someone who has come out of a blue period, perhaps. Because the Chariot, when it comes out, it can indicate someone who is self-assured, someone who is assertive. But let me draw out a clarifier for the Chariot. And if right now, like, your career or this area of life feels a little unstable, it could be because it's going through a transformation in and of itself. But I feel like, if with conjunction here, this is not just like one way. If this area of life is going through a transformation, you are going through a transformation as well. If you are going through a transformation, this area of life, like your career, your profession, is also going through a transformation, right? So let's say if you took some time for yourself, then when you come back to work, when you come back to get back to producing, get back to working, either your job won't look the same, or it won't be the same, because I feel like some of you might decide, or recently have decided, to quit a job, or let go of an old job, or search for a different job. So it will literally be a different job. Or if you have something of your own going, like a business, for example, your business will come out of this transformed as well, right? Because you would have transformed. Something in you would have changed as well. And because it is you who is leading your enterprise, you who is leading your business, you who is at the head of your projects, for example, or it is you who is involved in certain projects that you are working on or soon will continue working on, then you will have an influence on your work. Your changes will influence your work. And thus they will transform as well. So, but let me draw out a clarifier for the Chariot card. Okay, and we have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is one of the most charismatic pages of the deck and the most fiery as well. Wands are associated with the element of fire, so fire signs will be Aries. I was about to say Libra, but Libra is an air sign, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the Page of Wands often represents inspiration, new creative ideas, exploration, and fearlessness. Yeah, I did mention how I wasn't sensing any fear coming from the Chariot, right? So if right now you're doubting yourself, right? If right now you feel like you can't trust yourself to make maybe a right decision or the best decision for you, or to choose for yourself your next project, or just you're just feeling confused, you're just experiencing confusion overall, then what is next is you, again, having that clarity, knowing what you want to do, and just moving in the direction that you have in mind without second guessing yourself, right? And I did speak about you possibly learning on this journey what is stopping you or holding you back. Like, is it fears, insecurities? And if that resonates with you or resonated with you, then what I see next is a confirmation that you have obtained that clarity, right? And that you have addressed it. And so whatever was holding you back in the past isn't holding you back anymore. Or more specifically, you're not letting it hold you back anymore, right? So as an example, person A had a fear of sharing the execution of an idea of theirs because what will people think? What will people say? But then they go on this whole introspective, contemplative, self-discovery journey, and they come to the conclusion that who cares? Who cares what some people might think? Yeah, maybe not everybody is going to love this, but I know I'm going to have a fun time developing this, executing this, bringing it to life. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do it, right? So I'm sensing confidence here, self-assuredness. And the Page of Wands can be very childlike, cheerful, extroverted. So right now, if you're feeling cheerless, I see things changing for you, because with the Chariot and the Page of Wands, there's a lot of excitement. There's this feeling of, with the Chariot and the Page of Wands, there being no gray clouds hovering above you. Or if there are, you're taking note of them, but you're not letting them rain on your parade. It's like, yeah, I might come face to face with obstacles, but I'll find a way around them. I'll find a way through them. Or right now, I'm not worried about, there's this feeling of like, right now, I'm not so worried about the future. I wonder if the philosophy, Newt Commander's philosophy, actually applies to you guys, because the Page of Wands and the Chariot makes me think of exactly what Newt Commander said. Like, why worry if worrying only means you suffer twice? Like, no, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Right now, I'll focus on whatever is ahead of me and make the best out of that. So these two cards, this combo also lets me know that you will be either working on a passion project, or if you have felt that loss of passion for a career or for this area of life, you're getting it back, right? Because I see you being quite determined about a career, a profession, like pursuing it, working on it, being a part of it, or about a creative project, a creative endeavor, if not a business endeavor. And, if there have been ideas brewing in your mind that you have yet to start working on, or just maybe experimenting with, further exploring, that what is next is you exploring these ideas, right? Because the Chariot is all about moving forward with something. So you're moving forward with an idea, a creative idea. Once you get inspired or inspiration strikes, you're taking action. There isn't going to be that moment where you suddenly convince yourself out of the idea, or you discourage yourself from something that you feel very excited about, very excited for, or you felt very excited about, right? I also want to point out this isn't about you being reckless, like, oh, you get an idea for something and then you don't think about it in a practical, logical way and you just go and do it. No, because the chariot represents balance and discipline. So I do see you being disciplined and you being practical. So you are not being reckless. There's no recklessness here. You're simply losing the fear. Like you're losing maybe the irrational fears. You're shaking off the insecurities, the limited beliefs, whatever notions were keeping you from expressing yourself and believing in yourself and trying things out and exploring and experimenting and being creative, working with your imagination, even being optimistic or just having fun. That's another major thing I'm seeing here, like you having fun. You're being a lot more playful. Maybe that's what a lot of you are realizing, that you need a little bit more play and fun in your life, that maybe you were taking something too seriously and that was just sucking the joy out of this area of life or out of work, out of your projects. And you became very serious because you started just putting a lot of pressure on yourself, maybe because of expectations that you felt or you thought you needed to meet. And so on this introspective hermit journey, you may be deciding, is it really necessary for me to hold myself to these expectations? Is it even helpful? Has it been helpful? If the answer is no, then you're releasing those expectations. And there's this feeling of once you release them, you free yourself, you liberate yourself. You might even feel like you have come back to you, like you're more like yourself now, that you don't have either these expectations or that you're no longer holding yourself up to these expectations. Like the expectation to be perfect, to always get it right, to be liked by every single person that comes across you, or to please everybody, or to make everybody happy, etc. It could be anything. Yeah, and I do see these cards representing a strong comeback. So also, if you kind of been playing it on the down low, or as mentioned, if you did take a break, go on a hiatus, or if it's been a while that you've, I heard, stepped into the scene, into the work scene, you will be coming back strong and looking different, feeling different, exuding a different aura. Yeah, maybe some of you were just experiencing a low. It happens, we all go through highs and lows. And this could have been a low period, a period where it makes me think of when you set like a machine on low power mode, like to save its energy, right? So it's sort of like your body, it decreased your energy levels to have you slow down so that you can either catch your breath or just have this time for you to introspect, or I don't know, even talk with yourself. Consider your needs, what it is that you want. Look into what isn't working for you. What is it that you've been missing? What is it that you've been needing? Is it inspiration? Is it creativity? Is it just something new? Maybe you've been doing the same old, and what you've been needing is something new, something fresh, something different. And whatever it is that you've been needing, that's exactly what you're giving yourself next. That's exactly what you're allowing yourself next, right? And I feel like whatever it is that you need is something that you can give yourself. It's something that you can permit yourself. It will be something that will come from within you, from you. But yeah, what is next is you getting bright ideas. It's like if right now you feel like your creativity has been stifled, you've been experiencing a creative blockage, what is next is that blockage just evaporating. This energy here makes me think of someone who has regained their spunk or their spark. And because the chariot does indicate success, if you decide to start looking for a job, right? Like, because I feel like I've been kind of giving messages that will resonate the most with those who have taken a break, or who are just have been feeling uninspired or unmotivated, or who have like a business of their own, or who have their own creative projects, creative or business endeavors. But if it's the case that you have quit a job, that right now you aren't working, and you do decide to seek employment next, the Chariot card indicating success indicates that you will be finding a job. But honestly, I feel like a lot of you could decide to do something of your own. I am sensing a bit of like independence, you deciding to start something of your own, or just maybe focus on creative endeavors, passion projects, or planning future projects. Or if there has been a project that you were working on, or an endeavor that you were working on, but you kind of set aside because you just weren't feeling it anymore, or you lost motivation, you lost your spark, then the Chariot card and the Page of Wands could be indicating you getting back to that, you resuming that and making progress with it or on it. Yeah, so I feel like for the vast majority, what is next is just a time of exploration, you trying new things, and you resuming or starting new projects, or you getting back to work with vigor, with excitement, with a new attitude, a more positive attitude, with a healthier mindset as well. And I like how this Chariot isn't exactly moving, because this lets me know that you are taking a break when you need it. Like that is what is next. When you need to slow down, you're allowing yourself to slow down. You are in no rush, you are in no hurry, and you're allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. So that's what I see, but I want to read the message that is on the back of this card. And so we have adaptability, with Salamander symbolizes adaptability. He encourages us to explore transformation, intuition, and motion. Rather than fight the inevitable, he becomes a catalyst for change. A willing adapter, he finds little reason to resist. Living through loss, he brings gifts of renewal, regeneration, and growth. He beckons us to manifest what we need. Salamander teaches us that loss exists in our minds. Wow, the road to restoration begins in our hearts. I hope you guys didn't skip me reading this message, because I feel it goes so well with the overall reading. I'm a little surprised myself about how well it goes with the overall reading. Yeah, so you are experiencing transformation. You are learning to trust more in yourself, in your intuition, and you're also learning the importance of action, of taking action. Because I feel for some of you, there has been a lot of maybe holding yourself back, not allowing yourself to take action because of a lot of what ifs. Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if people don't like it? What if it's dumb? What if I can't do it, etc. And what is next is you letting go of the what ifs. You're not letting those doubts, those thoughts stop you from taking action. Motion, action is important, as important as rest and slowing down. And motion with purpose is also super important. I feel like some of you are learning the difference between like taking action for the sake of taking action versus taking action with intention. Sometimes taking action for the sake of taking action can be helpful, but at other times, what is needed is action with intention. It's action with purpose, action with direction. Because if we're just taking action for the sake of taking action, we could end up running in circles or just pacing, going back and forth. But action with direction, then we're moving forward. And the Chariot card indicates action with direction. And with the Page of Wands, it also indicates action with purpose, action with intention. So that's what is next for you guys. So I do see you developing plans and executing plans, working on creative ideas, working on ideas that you've had, or further developing ideas that you've had. or experimenting, trying out things. Yeah, some of you might have experienced an ending, maybe a loss or a disappointment, or right now what you're experiencing is renewal. You're definitely experiencing growth. And this period of introspection could have come about as a result of you growing, like you being in the process of transforming, growing into your new skin. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out before I end your reading: butterflies, specifically monarch butterflies, salamanders, sphinxes, the golden snitch from Harry Potter. The series Harry Potter could be of significance. Let's see. A pocket watch, a compass, a clock could be of significance as well. You might be seeing a lot of angel numbers or repeating numbers on the clock. Like every time you look at the time, it's either 333 or, I don't know, 144 or 444 or something along those lines. That may be, if so, that may be an indicator that you are on the right path, or to trust in the process, trust in the unfoldment of things, trust that if you're going through a difficult time or a confusing time, it will pass because it's meant to pass. This is temporary. Trust that you are moving towards something better, right? Or kind of your reminder to allow yourself to move forward, to move onward, to step out of a cycle, maybe step out of an old routine. Try something new, try something different. Give yourself a chance to explore your ideas, and to have fun, to play. I also want to point out that Cancer season, specifically Cancer during the month of June, could be of significance. I'm also getting August. The month of August could be of significance. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity, reassurance as well. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them run in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye.